Yes, morning time. Welcome, everybody. Good morning to you. You didn't fix this cable, and I'm gonna strangle you later, Poseidon, with this discarded cable. Welcome to the morning show, guys. Poseidon, half asleep all week. New episode of The Intellectuals drops tomorrow, and you'll learn more about it. I think we tackled that subject of fuckery del Poseidon. Good episode coming out tomorrow. Guido's back. You're gonna see him pre-haircut because tomorrow he's getting a cool new do. And then maybe I'll have him on the Pantelis podcast. He could recount stories of him in the loony bin. That might be fun. So welcome everybody. Patreon.com/Pantelis. It is a new month, new chances to win merch. Without further ado, Phil's going to be a little late, so let's head over to the news man himself. The man from the deep south, South Shore, host of Just Us Dads. New episode dropping today at noon right after this. It's Jiggity Jiggity, bringing us the news, George Chandrizos.
What's going on, guys?
What up, G-Funk?
Good. Just by the way, just for the information, the new episode drops on Fridays. So,
oh, it's on Friday.
Yeah, there's clips on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and Fridays are the new episodes. And there's also a new episode of the Backstage podcast, probably dropping on Saturday.
Well, then I'm no longer excited. I was very excited for this episode at noon today. But you know what? Instead, you know what you can watch at noon today? 2 Drink Minimum, new episode 209, dropped last night, and it's available at noon on all the podcasting platforms. So, George, I don't know what kind of news you're bringing to the table. But
there's a bunch of different news and stuff, but let's start off with happy stuff. First and foremost, the Habs made it to the second round.
You're talking about the Montreal Canadiens.
You're not a big Montreal fans, I know, but the rest of
we live in Montreal. We live in Montreal.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of hockey, I mean.
No, we don't like the Montreal Canadiens. But I'm a New Jersey Devils fan, and I believe Poseidon used to love the Hartford Whalers. And without them around, he is very sad.
Fuck? Was he even born?
He was a Whalers fan, yeah. The Whale, baby. Hartford, Connecticut, yeah.
How can you be a Whalers fan? Fuck, that team disappeared like in the 80s, no?
So, Poseidon has fond memories of the Whale.
I'm an old soul.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but it's good news, man. I think it's nice for the fans. I think it's great. I mean, it's been forever that we've made it this far. I mean, let's not jump on the bandwagon that quickly. I mean, I'm not one of those, the cup is coming home, bro.
Oh, I don't know about that. There's a lot of good teams left.
Yeah, let's wait and see what happens. But I hope they go far, man. I think the people here deserve it. Fuck, I mean, it's been forever that we've seen a cup. But honestly, I feel bad for the Leafs fans, man. Like, how do you fuck up a 3-1 lead, dude?
It happens. It happens more often than you
It
care
does
to admit.
happen.
I do feel bad.
The Leafs, it's just laughable. Like, it's funny if you think about it, you know? And it's like this huge rivalry that everyone was kind of expecting. Like, it's never happened in a series that Montreal has ever faced the Leafs. And not only does it happen, they're ahead 3-1. Their hopes are through the roof. They're like, yeah, we believe. We believe.
But that's what happens when you destroy the English language. Belief is not a word. Goddamn.
Oh my God. I honestly felt so bad for them. I mean, I don't know if they're cursed. I don't know what the fuck's going on with that team, but.
Well, look, here's the thing. I would say they're cursed, but they have a great team. So it's not like there's much to change for next season. They have good goaltending. I mean, Tavares getting injured, I think, hurt them. But they have a great team. Just try it again next year.
Crazy.
You know they're missing? A French-speaking coach.
That
might help.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think that's it. That's the straw that broke the Chamel's back.
But you know what I realized, because we've been always complaining on how bad the media is here in Quebec, in Montreal, with respect to the hockey players and how bad it is. But in Toronto, man, it's not any better. Like,
I don't think it's ever going to compare to Montreal.
It was 3-1. It became when the Habs tied the series, they were putting out these pictures of milk cartons with
Homer's all the way in Mexico right now, and he's in the chat.
Oh shit!
Yeah, go on, Leafs fanatic.
They were putting up pictures of what's that other guy's name? Whatever, one of the top players there on the milk carton missing.
Austin, who? Matthews.
Yeah, that's it, Matthews.
Oh,
and Marner. You know, they had their pictures on milk cartons, like, where are you? Missing, kind of thing, you know? And then the front page of the Toronto Sun, calling them chokers. Like, fuck, man, it's horrible.
It's not as bad as here. Here, there's a chance you lose a fight and the front page is going to write, local faggot gets beaten. Like, here, it's very, very, in the French media, they're very, very rough here. That's why people don't want to play here.
Yeah.
They're too much.
Yeah.
They start attacking your family and shit. It's
Jesus.
yeah. For hockey here, it's too much.
God damn.
I know a couple. I know a couple Leafs fans. They've disappeared the last couple of days from social media. Nothing's
Yeah,
happening.
it's you know what? I feel bad. I feel the pain for these guys. Like I'm happy that the Habs won. It's it's my city, but I do feel that pain's gotta hurt, man. That's gotta sting.
Honestly.
To your rivals too. So George, I know normally you bring depressing news. It's the kind of guy you are. There's some happy news coming out of Twitter that Poseidon shared with me this morning.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, as you know, Biden has recently discussed maybe launching a probe into where the corona started.
The Corona?
Yeah.
Well, it's more than that, eh? He's given the green light to a Secret Service to look into the matter.
Yeah,
I mean,
and China has responded.
Where is it? Fuck, where's the... I'm looking for the quotes. God damn it. We must be prepared for an intense showdown between China and the U.S., Mr. Hu wrote in an op-ed for Global Times. The number of China's nuclear warheads must reach a quantity that makes U.S. elites shiver.
Okay, so I'm sorry to do that to you guys. I thought he was more prepared than that. He literally just started reading non sequiturs without headline. No, it's okay. So essentially what they're saying is China says the country must prepare for nuclear war with the U.S. after Biden asks for COVID probe.
Yeah.
Which is more than a little suspicious.
Yeah. Look, we've said it on other episodes, right? Where there's all this attention focused around China. They're trying to find shit to pin them down, and rightfully so, because there's a lot of crooked shit happening out there. And at some point, we're gonna have to call them out.
China, do you really think? Hold on, I'm gonna speak on behalf of Biden here.
Oh shit.
Blueberries. No wait. Hold on. There's more. There's more. But China, you really think you're going to come out there and embarrass local hero John Cena and we're not going to retaliate? You're going down, guys.
What happened with this guy?
You can't see this, just like Biden can't see fucking 4 feet in front of him. You can't fucking see this.
What happened with the whole Cena thing?
John Cena? So he was trying to promote Fast 9 or 57. Who knows how many Fast and Furious films there really are. And he referred to Taiwan, the country of Taiwan. And China lost its fucking mind and said, it is not a country, you piece of garbage. They're barely even people. And then John Cena, instead of being like, oh, I don't know, he could have said a million and one things. He released a statement in Chinese, though, props to him, where he was like, I'm so fucking sorry. I did not know. You are correct. I'm sorry to anger you. They're not a country. They're not even a people. And he just folded like this.
No.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and people were like, what are you doing, pussy? Even the Chinese were like, ugh, that's pathetic. So
we were expecting a fight.
Yeah, so the movie tanked upon release. Nobody wanted to watch it. Like, this is fake shit. Fast and Furious. They're not furious.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're furious. And then they fold.
Okay, so he's in the new movie. I didn't even know he was in the new movie.
Apparently, yeah. I mean, they're putting everyone in that shit.
And then what's his name? The bald guy.
Jason Statham.
No, the other bald guy.
You're talking about Vin Diesel?
Yes, Vin Diesel. I forgot his name.
Vin Diesel, John Cena, and it didn't do well.
Vin Diesel said he wants the next Fast and Furious to be they want to do a crossover with Jurassic World.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
And then people
The Fast and the Furious.
and then people memed him and they're like, you know what these dinosaurs can't stop? Family.
That would be a good way to end the series. Oh my god, a T-Rex ate my family. In the body, oh. It's a goddamn dinosaur.
Oh my god. Shit. Yeah, it just feels like these guys have no other hopes of making any other movie. Like, nobody wants to hire them. They just keep repeating the fucking what's it called? Fast Furious chain. Oh god.
In the new one, he apparently stops a car with his bare hands.
Yes.
Look, man, I don't know why you're in such disbelief. Wasn't he one of the Street Sharks? He can do these kind of things. Well, this is so fucking stupid. Yeah, they're running out of ideas. They're probably asking him, do you want to do any other types of movies? Nah, they gotta be fast. What about, like, I don't know, a presidential movie? Nah. Unless I'm playing JFK and the bullet misses me. Nah.
Yeah, like I deflected with the back of my hand.
Yeah. I could do JFK. I'll put the wig and then I'll just dodge family. And then I become emperor of China. That doesn't make any sense, Vin. Really?
No, but no, legit, there was.
Blueberries. Shut up, Mr. President.
No, but legit, there was a scene, bro, where a car is literally spinning through the air, bro. It just goes boom, and it stops. I was like, what the fuck is this?
What do you mean with his hands?
Yeah, bro. It's flying at him at like 1,000 kilometers an hour, bro. This guy just stops it with his
It
hands.
feels like maybe he didn't read the full script. Like that page, he thought it was over. He's like, oh, it's just okay, we'll do that. But really, there was another page where it kills him. I was like, yeah, we'll just do that. I can just stop with my hands. How come nobody's ever thought of this? All you idiots dying in car accidents, just pick your hands up, you fucking dummies. So stupid. Anyone who's died in a car accident, useless. Come on, just do this. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this.
Oh God.
Oh my God, bro. That's funny.
Let's talk about the curfew dropping last weekend, guys. How do you like that? I mean, did you guys get to enjoy the weekend? Did you stay out late?
I was never. I mean, I lived my life as normally. I dared people to stop me. So for me, it's just good because stores are open later now. I went to Canadian Tire yesterday.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Canadian Tire. Let's say two things. Number one.
Oh God.
I love Canadian Tire.
I was gonna say, yeah, Canadian Tire doesn't get the props it deserves.
Oh. Okay.
The best, dude. What are you
Where
talking
else
about?
can you? I walked in. This is not a joke, Poseidon. A Canadian Tire, you can get a barbecue, shampoo, gardening stuff, pest control, UFC fighting gloves, hockey sticks, chandeliers, desks, chairs, a human being, party supplies, car
Tires.
parts, tires. I mean, let's give it the props it deserves. Goddammit.
Acids for your drains.
Yeah.
I love Canadian Tire. You're right. It doesn't get the credit it deserves.
And at reasonable prices.
Yeah, the prices were pretty reasonable. I was thinking about it yesterday. I was like, you know what? This motherfucker, they have just a bit of everything.
Nespresso machines.
Espresso machines, there's random ass shit. But you know they didn't have gift wrapping paper, though they did have a party section with hats, candles, whatever the fuck you want, but no gift wrapping oversight. You know, I'm just saying.
Not really, because that you can always find it cheaper at the dollar store. So I mean, why would you?
I'm
even
just
bother?
saying. Look, if I'm gonna buy some party supplies, party hats, party cups, then I gotta go to another store get some wrapping paper to wrap the gift that I bought at Canadian Tire. I'm just saying, guys, think about that. I'm not gonna tell you how to do your job, but if you want to hire me on a consulting basis, no. That's
Yeah.
it.
No, I love Canadian Tire. There's two stores that I can literally just walk in there and spend maybe a good 30, 40 minutes just walking around, not necessarily buying anything. One is Canadian Tire. The other one is Costco for some reason.
What about Dildo Central on what's it called?
Oh, no, not anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Costco, I've only been, I think, twice.
Well, that's because the Costco near you is fucking insane. That's why.
Yeah.
You want to kill people. You want to murder people when you walk in there.
Yeah, Costco makes you racist.
No, I
You walk in there and you hate everyone.
I have no idea how people shop at that one on Lackady. No idea. It's just packed all the time. You can barely get a foot in. When we used to live downtown, we used to go to the one on Bridge Street. That's right before the Victoria Bridge.
Is that good?
That's the best one. Oh, the best one.
There's no one there?
There's never anyone there. I don't even know why they have it.
Okay, I want to know things like that because the one over here is disgusting. You walk in and it's just hate. I'm like, what are you, Italian? Fuck all you people. Like, you just hate everyone by group because it's
Well,
just...
think about it, man. It's the only one that serves Parc X, Côte des Neiges, Ville Saint Laurent, Hansik, like it's the only one.
all garbage neighborhoods you named, but yeah.
Not all garbage neighborhoods, but it's just that it's the only one, so everyone just goes there, right? So it's horrible. No, the one downtown was the best one, off right before the the Victoria Bridge, and obviously now I go to the one in Brossard, which is not so bad either. Yeah, I can spend fucking all day there. I don't know, just walking around.
Let me tell you what I have against Costco before we get into the news.
Oh God.
So the Costco over here, like you said, right, but they make you pay for a membership, right? As if you're part of some exclusive club. But I walk in there and there's people that fucking don't even know how to live in society in there. How did they get into the club?
Every time
It wasn't on merit.
What kind of club is this?
No one asked me to vote them in. We could have done like gang members. We beat the shit out of you to get you into the club. Then we'll see how many people rush to come in.
Like an initiation.
Yeah.
every time I've gone to Costco, I think I've been twice. I almost got into a scrap.
Yeah, but they're like, sir, you need a membership card. This is a free country.
No. No, like while I was inside.
Yeah.
With other patrons of the store.
Anyway,
That went
let's move
nowhere.
on to let's move on to the news, guys. Let's stick on the curfew thing because the premier announced yesterday that there's more restrictions being lifted. Montreal and Laval will be moving to the orange whatever color or whatever the fuck you want to call it. So yeah, and there's also some other remaining sub-regions that will flip to orange as well starting next Monday.
Yeah,
so that's good news as of Monday. So yeah, so the result is there will no longer be any red blotches or whatever regions on the map of Quebec for the first time ever since the beginning of this this pandemic.
I saw Legault tweeted. He said, by the way, ladies, this dick is officially a green zone, which was an odd tweet from a premier.
So the switch to orange basically means that restaurants, which by the way have been closed for over 8 months now, they will be able to reopen. Indoor dining will be allowed with certain restrictions. Gyms will also be allowed to reopen. And I don't know why they announced this, but high school students will return to class full time, which I don't get because the school year is almost over. So I don't know.
They just wanted positive news for child molesters. You guys too.
So besides Montreal and Laval, you have some other regions as well, like there's some regions, that are remaining red sections, like the Eastern Townships, the Chaudière-Appalaches, the Bas-Saint-Laurent. They were red. They should be going into orange soon as well. I think it was Monday that he announced. I'm not sure. I can't remember. That's it. So in essence, everything is going well. We're kind of starting to see that light at the end of the tunnel. Of course, the Premier Legault, he warned that, even in green and yellow zones, there's people still need to respect the 2-meter distancing measures. We still need to wear masks until everyone has received their 2 doses.
No.
But in general, man, it's going well. I mean, there's over 5 million people in Quebec that have received their vaccine, which means that we're slightly above 60% of the population that has gotten their vaccine. They're hoping, because it's a little bit slower now with the 18 to 35 demographic, so they're trying to push them to go. They think that if they all at least register, we should be close to at least 70%. So they're banking on that. But it's really impressive. I mean, people are really turning up. I got my vaccine yesterday, by the way. So and there was a lot of
congratulations, George.
Yeah. I mean,
see you on the other side, you zombie.
We're waiting in line with my wife, and it's like, do we really need to do this? I mean, everything seems to be going well. I mean, before the end of the summer, we're probably going to have 75% of the people vaccinated. Maybe they'll declare like a herd immunity kind of thing. Should we be doing this? I'm like, you know what? Just fuck it, man. At this point, we should just. I mean, I'm just afraid of what might happen afterwards, where this whole thing about the vaccine passport and all that crap. I just whatever. So we just had it done, and that's it. I just want to have a normal life again.
I wonder if that was just fear tactics, though, the vaccine passport, because there's so much shit that I see online about lawsuits that could come out of that.
Really? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on what exactly it is. If it's just a proof that you're vaccinated, there's no issue there. The problem that we've said in other episodes is whether or not places are going to demand that you show them a proof of vaccination in order to access, whether it's a restaurant or a gym.
Didn't you just say the same thing twice, and one was okay, and now this one's bad? What else would you be showing proof of vaccination?
I think what he's trying to say is that if the proof
Yeah.
of vaccination is demanded, then you're liable for a lawsuit. But
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
but
Yeah.
if there's just a proof and nobody asks for it,
it's not necessarily a bad thing to receive a proof of vaccination if that's what it is. I mean,
But don't you always receive a proof of vaccination?
I think
Just
you
keep
do,
your
yeah.
papers, yeah.
Well, that's the thing. We've always had it. I mean, when we were younger, even now, my kids, they have a little vaccination booklet. I mean, you get that regardless,
I
right?
have the carnet de vaccin.
Yeah. So the problem is whether or not they're going to take it to the step further and demand it. So that's where I'm against. But receiving it, I mean, I don't really have a problem with it. Anyway.
You heard it here first. George does not have a problem receiving it. He's a generous
speaking of
lover.
vaccination, the other frustrating thing, guys, is that yesterday or Wednesday, right? Yeah. So I think it was on Monday or yesterday. I can't remember. The National Advisory Committee on Immunization, they just officially gave the green light to mixing COVID vaccines, We spoke about that in
Wait,
other
what?
episodes where the government has suggested that because there's a shortage of AstraZeneca vaccines, that they should take any other vaccine available. And we're like, wait, well, that's fucking strange. So this week, the National Advisory Committee came out and said, yes, it's fine. If you got a first dose of AstraZeneca, you can choose to get an mRNA vaccine for your second dose, whether it's Pfizer or Moderna. And even
Aren't they
those
two different types of isn't it two different sciences behind the vaccines? That's what people were telling me.
I don't understand the science, and I'm going to get to it a little now. Why they're even doing? I have no idea. I'm not an expert. It just seems very strange to me because they're even suggesting that between Pfizer and Moderna, even those two, they're interchangeable as second doses. So here are the recommendations. One, people who got a first dose of AstraZeneca viral vector vaccine can now get either another dose of AstraZeneca or an mRNA vaccine, Pfizer or Moderna, as their second dose. The second recommendation is for those who got a first dose of mRNA vaccine. If the same brand of vaccine isn't readily available when the time comes for a second dose, then the other mRNA vaccine can be considered interchangeable and should be offered to complete the vaccine.
That kind of makes sense if they're both mRNA vaccines as opposed to traditional ones.
But you know what? I still have this fear. You know what I mean? I'm like, give me the same one, dude.
What I love about you, George, is you are the best person for the government. You're like, I have fear. I have my doubts. Yeah, of course, give it to me. That's fine. I have my doubts about this. You're hilarious.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question. Why initially did they make different types of vaccines for the same kind of virus?
It's different companies, dickhead. It's not.
Companies.
The
No, I
government
understand, but
doesn't sit there making that. These are private companies.
I know, but wouldn't the science be the same?
Well, no, because there's new science. mRNA, that's new stuff. So I think, what is it, AstraZeneca? I think did it old style.
I think mRNA has existed, man. I think it's been around, since the early 2000s. It's not entirely new. Maybe we haven't heard of it that often, but I don't think it's new.
I don't mean it's new like it was just invented for this. What I'm saying is there are two different types of ways of creating vaccines. Yeah. One is, the old way was you use a shitty version of the virus you're trying to fight.
Okay.
So your body reads up on it, and it's like, I can handle this bitch. And then, and you're ready. And this new one, I don't know what the fuck the new one does, but apparently it's better. I trust them. They're scientists. That's it. That's all I know.
But I mean, here's the problem I have with this, because the NACI's president, Caroline Quash, came out and said, well, when we look at the risks of thrombosis associated to AstraZeneca, we're better off taking an mRNA vaccine like Pfizer or Moderna for the second dose. I mean, I'm sorry, fuck. There's something I don't understand.
Wait, hold on. They said you could take a non-mRNA, the first one, and then the second dose is an mRNA one.
Yeah, well,
okay, that doesn't make.
That's
a weird mix and match.
Well, when we look at what's happening with the thrombosis cases with AstraZeneca, maybe we are better off taking an mRNA as the second dose. And I'm questioning, and I'm listening to this, and I'm thinking, wasn't our government just a couple of weeks ago disputing the dangers associated with AstraZeneca and encouraging everyone to take whatever vaccine was available? I mean, and that's what people did. They listened to the government, they took the AstraZeneca vaccine, and now finally they've been turned into lab rats, since they'll be mixing up their doses, and we don't even know what's going to happen. So what guarantees do we have, knowing that they were completely wrong at that time?
I will say one thing, George.
Again,
I don't approve of that, of using us as guinea pigs. However, props to them. Very clever. Very fucking clever. They're like, we can't test this shit in time. Like, don't worry about it. I got this. Yeah, that is pretty clever. I'm not for it. I think that's completely insane. You shouldn't be testing on the end result people, the actual people that you're supposed to be protecting. However, very sneaky, and it costs less money. You don't got to pay them.
By the way,
yeah, exactly. But see, it's funny what you mentioned about time, because according to La Presse, there was an article that said that most Canadian health directors have been waiting for the results on a vast study on mixing vaccines conducted by Oxford. Those results have been delayed, and since the timeline has now arrived for the second doses to be administered, these health directors suddenly turn around and accepted some other test results from a health institute in Spain, and they said, "Well, look, their studies that were conducted show that it's okay, so we're just going to go with that. We're not going to wait for Oxford anymore. Let's just proceed," right? It just feels that we're doing whatever is convenient, to get people vaccinated without necessarily taking the consequences seriously. And especially with this issue where, the messages were completely opposite just weeks ago.
I'm with you. Gee, it's very suspicious, which is why I'm holding out.
I don't know, man.
Also,
Anyways.
just a little.
And then-
since we're on the topic of vaccination, are you done with your sentence, George?
Yeah, I got it.
What a weird way to speak to people.
You're done with your
Are you
sentence.
done with your sentence? Who talks like that, bro?
What? I was just asking if it's
What? That is some real insane fucking autistic
But
bullshit.
if it wasn't done, if it wasn't done,
Are you done adding subject, verb, and complements
Yeah,
to your
it was-
state?
It was very nice to meet you. Excuse me, are you done with your sentence? For I shall begin mine. Here I go. Capital T. The fucking idiot. What a weirdo.
Hold on, bro.
Madam, are you done with those fries?
To whom's that may concern.
I am a hungry boy.
No, but this came from the chat from PP Team, and I googled it real quick. Florida concert charges $18 US for vaccinated fans and $1,000 for unvaccinated fans.
Oh shit!
That's amazing. I hope they make
That's
$50.
That's insane, bro. Hold on. U.S. authorities eager to get people vaccinated, offered in inducements such as prizes, yada, yada, yada. Fans of punk bands, Teenage Bottle Rocket, Make War, and Rooterkin can get into the June 26th concert in coastal St. Petersburg, Florida, for a discounted, quote, I'm quoting here, $18 if they can produce proof they have been fully vaccinated.
There is nothing, as everybody knows, there's nothing more punk rock than getting vaccinated. There's nothing. What a shitty band.
Bro, for those with no such proof, it's
If you also have proof that you texted your mom good night, you get it for $5, guys. Punk rock. Get out of here, you pussies.
And if you can't produce proof, it's $1,000.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna make $1,000 sales. I'll tell you that much. I hope they make $50. There's 5 people there. There's 5 girls. Like, yeah.
Man,
You see, it's stuff like that bothers me. This is what we're saying before. I mean, they're going to be requesting proof of vaccine in order to either allow you. If not, you get fucked. Here, $1,000, dude.
Don't do drugs, kids. Punk rock. Get out of here, you monkeys. Fucking, if they were punk rock, they would hold a concert with only unvaccinated people.
Yeah, seriously.
Olga says in the chat, have you completed your words? Poseidon.
Are you done with your collection of nouns and adjectives and verbs? You're like a fucking Russian supervillain. Yeah, that's the most punk rock thing you could do.
Are you guys getting? I mean, do you have any worries now that there's no more curfew? I mean, last weekend was fucking insane. I live next to a park. There were loads of people. There were fucking some youngsters hanging out until like 11:30.
Bunch of youngsters.
And there's no distancing measures there. There's no mask. They were drinking fucking alcohol. They were fucking laughing and joking.
All right,
and
Karen,
I'm
calm
happy for
down.
them. Good for you. But I'm just wondering, are you guys worried at all that this switch now is going to get people fucking crazy to the point where cases may go up again? Remember last summer we were having the same discussion where the cases were on a drop. People were out and about doing whatever they want, not necessarily listening to the government. Even the government kind of relaxed a little bit because it was summer. And then right at the end of the summer, bang, all the cases went up again.
Yeah, that's suspicious. George, you just answered your own question. It's interesting when it's tourist season and we're broke that everything opens up and nobody fucking has any problems with anything. People are closer together than ever and it's hot outside. People are making out, licking handrails, touching strangers. And yet COVID cases don't spike. But then as soon as tourist season's over, everything closes back down again. And miraculously, everything from a fucking knee injury to a headache is considered COVID. You're right, it's baffling. I can't fucking figure out what's happening.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but no, I'm just saying because there were COVID cases that spiked last summer, and I'm just worried
No, they spiked after summer. G.
Exactly.
School started.
Well, how long do you think do you think you contract COVID in fucking June and show symptoms in September, George? What is a mythical fucking what's happening now? I don't understand. Are we attributing magic to this as well?
I mean, I'm just thinking, should we be worried? Are we doing this too quickly? And this is, these are consequences of us being fucking closed in for over a year, where suddenly you're allowed to be and to go to places, and you're kind of second guessing yourself. You're like, nah, I don't know if I should do it. Nah, I don't know. Should we have people over?
What's the worst thing that could happen to you if you get it?
Well,
statistically speaking.
Yeah, nothing. You're gonna suffer for a couple days. So
then you don't think that even you asking that question is a little outrageous? in 2021. You're like, should life return to normal? Because what if I get the sniffles?
All I'm saying is that based on what we saw last summer, I'm worried if maybe we're going to experience the same thing this time around. But maybe not. I don't know. It's a hypothetical question. I mean, there are more and more people getting vaccinated. Hopefully, the dangers are going to be more and more reduced.
Well, we opened it up last year, right? With 0 vaccinations. It didn't exist.
Yeah.
Now you're saying we're what, at 60%?
Yeah.
So if last year went fine without a hitch last summer with 0 vaccinations, shouldn't this summer go even better with 60% vaccinations?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, exactly. So, because there's a Montreal health director that came out and said all the new cases that were announced a couple of days ago, over half of those were linked to people being meeting up at parks. You know.
Yeah, parks are the culprit.
Yeah, the parks are at fault.
I think the worst enemy of the people could be parks, perhaps trees as well.
Yeah, no. What she's suggesting is that maybe it's a coincidence, maybe not. Yeah, I mean, this is something that's going to come out in the next couple of days now. We're going to see, and it makes sense. I mean, it was the long weekend. People were out and about. I mean, the curfew was no longer there. So I don't know. Maybe it's just just these cases. But she basically threw out a warning saying, "Look, guys, more than half are linked to parks. Let's just take it easy. Let's not go overboard. Yes, there's no more curfew, but let's try and at least to respect at least the distancing. Wear your masks. We're still not over it." I don't know. The fact that there's certain people that are still a little bit worried is, I think it's noteworthy.
I mean, that's normal, though. The people are going to be worried. We just suffered a traumatic year in human history.
Okay. Yeah.
We started the pandemic with videos of people collapsing and convulsing in Chinese subway stations. We started with basically, we don't know what's happening. It's airborne. It's going to hit you, and you could instantly die. We were inundated with fear, okay? We washed our anything we bought from outside. We're masking. We weren't seeing our relatives. We let all the old people die in homes. It was insanity for a year. So obviously, coming out of it now, people are going to still be scared. It's normal. I don't judge people based on that. I don't blame them. If you go through a traumatic year, you're going to be a little hesitant when you finally see other people and you're like, what if this kills me? I get it. I 100%. I don't think that's weird. I think that's completely normal behavior.
Yeah. But
I think it'll just take us some months to get back into it. Once you realize, you're like, all right.
And also, going back to the argument that it was because of last summer, bro, from the beginning of June, the cases were dropping, and they were almost completely flattened.
Oh, that's
the
interesting.
Whole summer, and then
maybe it was in the summer. Yeah. Maybe it was the school thing, because I remember the time that there was a problem with the schools, and they were saying,
in September.
Don't send kids back.
Yeah, but I know George, but he just makes a good point that no one is talking about. How come we never addressed why COVID, immunity comes along when the economy needs to get bolstered in the summer? That's very interesting.
And end of September, that's where they started to really skyrocket. Another thing that's interesting, you can't use the argument of like, oh, it was new, we weren't testing as many people, because this was back from
it was
March,
last summer,
and we were testing people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, but there was more average deaths in the beginning of this thing. And
obviously, nobody knew anything.
Summer again, it's flattened. Then the cases recorded, but then the deaths.
Yeah, that's fucking George. Honestly, I'm not saying it's not. All I'm saying is the way we're documenting it seems flawed.
Yeah. And suspicious.
It seems fucking flawed now. Like when I see shit like that, like whenever it's convenient, everything, it's fucking weird, man.
And then the average of the deaths after the spike in fall were less than the average of cases.
Well, yeah, because we killed all the old people earlier. But how the fuck can we be this bad at documenting? Like, it doesn't make sense.
I think there's also a certain degree of lack of preparedness. Nobody was expecting, like, nobody knew what to do. Everybody was kind of improvising. And
fall is a huge tourist attraction in Quebec, the province of Quebec.
Yeah.
How open were our borders last?
They were completely shut down.
But what we're saying doesn't make any sense. But people escaped the border. No, come on, guys. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Even you can only come in by plane, but even if you come in by plane, then you have to quarantine 2 weeks, and then you have to pay a fucking hotel.
It wasn't. It wasn't what happened.
I guarantee you, there's no tourism this fall.
Yeah,
there was a report, and I missed the Friday show there, but there was a report that came out late last week. I can't remember which committee, urging the government to stop forcing people to quarantine when they travel back. I mean, it's not really necessary. They've come out saying that it's complete bullshit. I mean, stuff that we've known, right, since the very beginning.
Yeah, but when I said it since the very beginning, I was an asshole and I was crazy. I didn't care about people.
So the government now is looking into that to see exactly how they're going to proceed to slowly lift those measures as well.
You know what I find amazing? How I see people, they jump right away. They don't do any thinking. They no critical thinking. They jump whatever the fuck the government says, whatever the media says. They're like, this is the way it should be. And then the second they're proven wrong, they jump ship also. Like, yeah, this is wrong. It shouldn't work. They never question anything.
Yeah, well, we just spoke about that now with the vaccines, right? It's like the government was first saying, no, take the AstraZeneca. There's no dangers and it's negligible, blah, blah, blah. Now they're like, oh, well, look what's happening with the thrombosis. You should take the mRNA vaccine. Come on, man. I have people in my family that took the AstraZeneca vaccine, and I just hope they have enough dose to get the same one for the second time, because mixing it up, I mean, I don't know, fuck.
Then again, you don't know. You could create the first ever superhumans, George.
Bro. I have the report of tourism also for the 2020. They had a total minus 61% of.
Well, don't take
why does that? Yeah, but don't take 2020, bro. No,
a regular year to see when the tourist season. Obviously, summer is big, but
yeah, bro. But like fucking, of course, it dropped by 60%, bro. Who the fuck's gonna travel last summer, 2020?
No,
I don't know who it was in the chat. It was Christine. Yeah, but there are high peaks in tourism.
A total of minus 1.4%.
A what?
In 2019 was a total of minus 1.4%.
Yeah, obviously,
so
bro.
There's a huge difference. So there was barely.
But of course, there's a huge difference. So there was the coronavirus. Everybody was in.
You know, I'm just saying, because the people who want to attribute this to tourism, show me the fucking tourism. They have the stuff.
No, it's tourist season. That's we. Yeah.
No. If you want to compare,
it's tourist season. It's not that we had so many tourists. I mean, they made money off actual Montrealers, Quebecers going back out. Last summer, we were all out. We were spending money.
Yeah.
Not me. Bro, I was spending fucking no money.
Oh, that's a lie.
Very careful.
That's a lie.
I like when you wear your glasses. You're so cute.
Yeah, I'm trying to heal my eye.
What happened to your eye? You scratched it?
Yeah, and I've never let it heal.
I'll wear my glasses next episode.
Oh, by the way, just a small little parenthesis, because I was
George.
going to mention in the beginning. How's it going, Phil? I was going to mention in the beginning, but then we kind of
What a throwaway
went
comment.
off.
How's it going, Phil? Fuck off.
Did you guys see those pictures of Justin Trudeau walking with a cane?
No.
No. Is it Citizen Kane?
Yeah, apparently he was playing frisbee with his kids and he sprained his ankle.
That's amazing.
Wait, why are you laughing at him? That's actually a good thing.
I don't know why I'm laughing. It's
How old are
just
his kids? How old are his kids?
I think his oldest must be 13 or.
So it wasn't like
That's-
ultimate frisbee.
Could have, but that's nice though. He was playing frisbee. He got a little injured. He hasn't.
I mean, I'm not gonna judge him. I hurt myself playing fucking bouncy ball with my daughter.
Yeah, that's actually a nice story. I mean, it sucks that he sprained his ankle, but I mean, that's a nice story. It's if you told me he got it because his wife beat the shit out of him, okay, that's different. But him spraining his ankle playing with his kids, it's amazing.
His wife pegged him too hard. He's limping.
No, yeah, exactly. No, but he found he found the time to play with his kids,
good
and
for
then
him,
he sprained. He played so hard that he sprained his ankle. Good for him.
That's the kind of prime minister I want.
Yeah, more
leading the country.
papas should do the same.
George, what kind of cane was it? Was it like a staff with emeralds and shit, or just like a regular cane?
It was like a cool looking cane, like not around it's like an L-shaped cane.
Oh, that's like a staff,
I mean, it's better than him having like a foot cast.
or like a pink cane.
That will look a little dumb.
Well, what if he broke his leg?
I'm saying it's better right now. The decision he made by not casting it up, just using a cane instead, was a better decision because he would look a little goofy. A leader with a foot cast, it looks goofy. But a leader with a cane, you'd just be
what's his name was in a wheelchair.
distinguished. Winston Churchill,
Not Churchill too, but I'm thinking of
Teddy Roosevelt.
Roosevelt, who
Yeah.
had like the tuberculosis or
Yeah.
something.
That looks cool, but they would hide that. He would,
That's true. They had a whole campaign of not showing that he was.
yeah,
a gimp.
nobody
Yeah,
knew. Yeah.
That's true.
So I'm saying is in a big like a big foot cast, it would look stupid. People would see him like, oh, look at this dumbass. But now with the cane, it looks distinguished. Plus the story behind it's like, what happened, bro? You fell down the stairs again. He's like, no.
No, I'm good.
I
at
was
that.
having fun with my family because I'm a good father, and then somebody beat me up. But yeah, no, I like that. I like the fact that he was playing with his kids. Good for him.
I like that George brought it up so we can make fun of him, and we didn't. And he's like, "This is not going the way I planned."
No, I support him taking care of his family.
Oh, that's fine.
If only he could take care of the country too. That would be nice.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe
all right,
his,
let's
maybe
move
his
over
wife
to
had him repotting
a
plants,
new
George.
this new Canadian embarrassment called Air Canada. I don't know if you guys have been following what's been
That's
happening.
not new.
Hold on,
yesterday we
Christine
found
says
out-
in the chat, no fucking way. Conspiracy news are saying the boot. Wait, he has a boot on. It's to hide an electric ankle bracelet because he's been found guilty against crimes. Yeah, that's what you do when you find when you're found guilty against crimes against humanity. All that happens is they put a bracelet on you.
These are QAnon theories.
Yeah, like when you commit crimes against humanity, you just turn into a surfer prostitute. You you turn into a '90s ankle bracelet wearing whore.
Illuminated people were trying to tell us that's amazing.
It's like the theory that Canada had capitulated to the United States of America.
Yeah, that was your theory. No one else said that. That came from you directly.
Because I had found it.
That's the most syllables I've ever heard him use in a single word.
You be quiet, man.
I should have heard the first time you brought it up.
Your hair
Remember
grew
when
back
I heard
fast.
they capilled? When they you know when they caterpillared us, and I was like, "What the fuck are you saying?"
I never said
Wait, did
What
that
are you
happen?
talking
That's
about?
fucking amazing. That makes
They
a lot more
caterpilled us.
sense.
Yeah,
They caterpilled us.
they're centipeding our
catapulted
rights.
us.
Yeah, you red pill, you blue pill, you caterpill.
They catapulted us.
They catapulted us. Jesus Christ!
Oh,
All right, are you guys done with your sentences?
Shut the fuck up, George.
Thank you, G.
Oh shit.
All right, guys.
Hey, nice
Let's move on to Air Canada. Yesterday, we find out that late last year, Air Canada paid its top executives and managers like a total of $10 million in bonuses.
It was a tough
So
year,
people
George.
are freaking out. I mean, normally,
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
normally news like this wouldn't even bother me. I wouldn't even mention it. But, I mean, it's a private business. They can do whatever the hell they want. But
It's been built out like 40 times.
during this entire pandemic, we've all been hearing how, they can't make ends meet, how they've been forced to lay off tens of thousands of people. They've denied them access to the Canadian Emergency Wage Subsidy Program for the government. And in addition to all this, they lobbied the government successfully for almost $6 billion in an aid package.
Holy shit, that's no small sum.
So yeah, they're a private business and they can do whatever they want, but I think it's a little bit unethical when this is being done with my money, your money. You know what I mean?
Why do you hate Air Canada, George? Why do you? Let me ask you: are you an executive
I love
over
Air
there?
Canada, man.
You
I
don't know
travel
how
with Air
hard
Canada.
those guys had to work during the pandemic.
Yeah, man.
They had to work from home. Like their mistresses were missing them. It was tough.
Yeah.
I heard
Horrible
that they were cutting
situation.
corners left and right. They had to even for fuel for the flights. Yeah, no fat people. They had to just lower the weight.
You had to lower the weight. Some planes were like, look, we're not going all the way to Hawaii,
It's halfway into
but you're gonna have a Pacific vacation nonetheless.
the best and final vacation you'll ever take.
Yeah. Anyone here with parachute experience? Raise their hands.
Yeah.
On a side note, I saw a guy who jumped. He set the Guinness World Record yesterday. The highest jump without a parachute.
The highest jump without a parachute.
He jumped
Oh, I've
into
seen
a
Isn't
someone
that
like that.
when I was growing up? That was called suicide.
25,000 feet into a net.
Oh, and net. What
Are
a
you
pussy.
so
I've seen
dead
it.
inside?
It's been a long time now. It's not recent. I've seen that. I thought
No,
I
he
think I saw
broke the
like
new
2
record.
years ago.
He broke the new record.
My soul
The
would have
same
come
guy
out of
broke
my
his record.
asshole.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
why doesn't he just commit? If you're gonna do it, you commit, bro. No, you don't need a net.
No
you
net,
bitch.
eh?
Hold on, let me find it.
But that's pretty impressive, man. If you think of it, just to
How is
fucking
it
land in the
impressive?
net.
How is it? Look, if you're so dead inside that you need to jump out of an airplane from the stratosphere, you go see a therapist. Like
No, why?
stop
It-
chasing
why-
the
why?
thrill,
It's
bro.
just- People.
Oh my
you know,
god.
You got the clip?
Yeah.
It's fucking nuts. I was watching it. I was getting dizzy. I'm like, this guy's gonna die.
Luke Akins.
Yeah, Luke Akins. I thought
Luke
I was watching a
Akins.
snuff film.
Luke
think
Akins.
it's
In
correct.
Greek, they call him Lukaniko.
Luke Akins, get
But this
over
motherfucker
here.
really jumps off over about 25,000 feet.
Why would I lie? Why would I?
Why would he lie about this?
No, I'm not saying you would lie, but I'm just like in disbelief. Bro.
George is right. That is a lot of sentences.
Into a
Go
net.
on, George. Go on.
No, it's impressive. Nevertheless, I mean, the guy, like, first of all, to technically, kind of, I don't know, glide or whatever the hell they call it, into that net.
called
and to
fly
aim
like
it
an
so
angel.
perfectly. I think it's impressive. I mean, props to him.
It would have been better if he did it with like blasting music the whole time, like I want to rock.
Bam, 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 bam,
I'm gonna recut that.
I wanna rock. Bam, 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 bam,
I wish
bam,
I had hair I
bam.
could throw around.
Yeah, his wife's like, I hope he lands on a rock. Bam, 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 bam.
Just took out a new policy. Ding,
Bam.
ding, ding, ding.
Tired of his cock. Bam, 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 bam.
Cock and rock rhymes so good. Oh, the cock rock. Go on, George.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So Air Canada pulling a bunch of quick ones there. I mean, I just
I love the way he said,
I know-
"Hey guys, put a bunch of quick ones there."
Bruh.
No, I know a couple of people that work in Air Canada. They haven't been working obviously this last year or so,
The old
and it must
furlough
be
gang.
frustrating, man. When you're expecting just things to go back to normal, get your life back on track, and to get your job back, nothing's been happening. Meanwhile, your bosses are all getting, millions of dollars of paid out in bonuses. It's a little embarrassing, man. It's like a slap in your face, I don't know. I mean, imagine you working at Air Canada, and this sort of shit happens.
Yes.
How can you not be frustrated?
I'm frustrated.
I wasn't listening, but I'm still frustrated. We're having our own conversation.
No, I'm
I love that
frustrated.
George can't
Look,
see us.
this is what I'm gonna tell you, G-Funk. George could see us.
No, he can't.
George, you can't see us?
Yeah, of course I could see you.
I thought you said you don't keep it open anymore, so you never know what's happening.
No, I have the little window open. I don't
you
have
can't see the
view
webcam.
that-
Big
Right,
announcement.
right.
I have just bought shares
I-
in Viacom.
No, don't tell everyone.
I have just bought shares in Viacom. I want you all to know that I will be coming to the headquarters and making some changes.
Doesn't Viacom own Warner?
Perhaps.
I don't remember.
Perhaps they do. I'm going to walk in everywhere. It's the same thing I want to do in AMC. I wanted to go into a movie theater
I mean, you can do
and
that.
make sure they're keeping shit clean for me.
Do we still have an AMC here? Is the one downtown still an AMC?
I don't think so.
Still open? It closed?
I don't know.
I don't think it's an AMC anymore.
It's wasn't a Scotiabank.
No, not
I
that
sold
one.
some of my AMC shares.
Did you?
Oh,
Yeah, to collect the profit. So now, no matter what happens, it could go to 1,000, 100, 0. I made monies.
Yeah.
Mm.
I've
Smart.
given up on trying to predict stocks. I'm mining.
It went
I'm
up.
mining crypto now.
It went up. I shouldn't have sold yesterday. I should have sold today. But you know what? It doesn't matter
Never
because
know.
overall I'm up.
Yeah.
And I still have shares in it. You know what? For an idiot, I'm a bit less of an idiot these days.
I mean, one could argue.
Still an idiot, but not a high-level fool. Mid-level.
You should do this. what I'm
Mid-tier retard. Huh?
doing. Just let it run in the
Welcome to
background.
Pi.
Background mining on your phone.
Oh, I don't
Like
want to
people
mine
used
my
to do.
phone.
Why?
I don't trust these.
No data. No data exchange.
What?
No data
I
exchange.
don't trust that.
Anyways, I'll tell you later.
I don't trust
Well, in
that.
5 years, when I'm a bajillionaire with my fake tokens,
Bajillions.
you can come visit me in my jacuzzi pool.
Do you see Yakuza? Like it's run by the Japanese mob.
I'm a bajillionaire. I want good security. I have the yakuza in my jacuzzi.
Yeah. How do you know the real Yakuza? They all lost fingers in jacuzzi accidents.
I don't know why. I think it's the funniest thing to pronounce jacuzzi as yakuza.
Jacuzzi!
I'm always like, oh, you have a yakuza? And they're like, it's a jacuzzi.
Yo, by the way, our fans just wrote in the chat, Pi is a scam.
Probably.
You stupid son of a bitch!
But
We all
it
fall
costs
for these
me nothing.
scams.
No.
So, George, look, I am as upset as you are. To sum it up in layman's terms, Air Canada, which is notorious for mismanagement and being rude to customers, yours truly being one of them, and also they stole my money last year. They still have not paid me back for the flights that we had to cancel due to
Yeah,
coronavirus.
I'm still waiting on
For my-
refunds
for my
these
New York shows.
bastards.
Yeah. So,
Couldn't they have used that money to pay back people like you?
lawsuit incoming. I just oh fuck yeah, that's fucking true, bro. They got millions of dollars bonuses. I still didn't get paid. They owe me $1,000.
And their bullshit excuses, you have to wait. We're under a lot of pressure. Bro, this guy got his $10 million bonus faster
Yeah.
than we got our fucking refunds.
Yeah, I didn't get a refund yet.
It's easier
And
to
for
transfer
public
large
funds,
sums.
right? So
Yeah,
this
for
is
public-
your money.
Yeah. Oh, that's
So, so
Lies.
basically, they owed you money. They asked you for money. They borrowed money from you, which they were never going to pay back anyways. To pay you back the money they owed you because they didn't provide the service. And then they
never
took
said they
that
were gonna pay
money.
you back. They never said they were going to pay you back.
They never
they
said
owed
that.
you
Air
money.
Transat.
They never.
Yeah.
No, they kept dicking me around. Expedia and Air Canada kept dicking me around, and they said you have to wait the year. And then now the year passed, May 1st, and they won't get back to me.
Yeah, they've gotten back to me by email saying that it's the refund has been filed.
Yeah, it's all. It feels
File
like
that.
like a bunch of bullshit.
And you
Yeah.
couldn't get, did you buy it on credit card?
Yeah,
You couldn't use your credit card insurance to get that money back.
I should have initially in the beginning.
But you waited
Now
long
I
enough.
waited because I trusted them. Because I'm. That's why I don't trust these companies. They're all cocksuckers. Bro.
You're so naive.
I am a naive idiot. I know. I'm with you.
An idiot.
An idiot. George? What's next on the docket? And it better be nuclear war.
No nuclear war, but quick little story happening
Boring.
over. Like we never even mentioned this party, but I found it interesting. The Green Party of Canada. There's some infighting going on there.
What?
Can't recycle
Yeah.
bounty. Stop it.
I think there are 4 now elected, 4 members elected in Parliament for the Green Party. Anyways,
I'm the green machine, Tom.
two of these elected officials, they came out on the side of the Palestinians during this whole Israeli-Palestinian conflict. They're like, the Israeli apartheid state must end. Blah blah blah. We stand for Palestine, free Palestine. And you know what? Look, everyone is allowed to their opinion. The problem now is that the Green Party leader, not only is she the first black woman to lead a federal party, but she also happens to be
I
the.
thought it was a white chick.
I thought it was that old white lady.
Yeah. Oh, that's the Quebec Green Party.
No. Elizabeth May resigned. They had leadership
okay.
rates, and it's a black woman, Annemie Paul.
Good for her. I wish she was part of a good party.
So not only is she the first black woman to lead a federal party, but she also happens to be the first Jewish person to lead a federal party. So there's an issue there.
Hold on. She's a black Israelite.
Zionist.
Yeah. She's
But is she an Israelite? Because that would be hilarious. Have you ever seen the black supremacist Israelites? They're the best.
Jewish faith.
Oh, I don't know.
Anyway.
Man.
Okay.
Okay, it's not the
so
same.
there's
But
an
if you ever
issue
meet
there.
those guys in the States, bro, they're the funniest fucking thing.
Black Hebrew Israelites.
Yeah, they're the best.
Why?
Because they're the forgotten tribe. They got
Yeah,
lost
bro.
so long they showed
Should
up
hear
here.
the shit they say, bro. It's completely insane. Anyways, go on. Oh, good for her. Okay.
So there's a little bit of an issue now because members of her caucus are against her faith. So she's trying to kind of
Wait, hold on.
things.
They're against her faith. So the Green Party's like just against Judaism.
Well, because they came out against Jews. I mean, imagine people coming out and saying,
George, hold on.
"Fuck the Greek Orthodox. They should all die." Blah blah blah.
Is that what they said?
Hold on, George.
Is that what they said? Is that the Green Party's official position? Forget recycling. Just get rid of these Jews. Is that their? Are you fucking kidding me?
They didn't say that, but they took a harsh stance against Jews and Israel.
Wait, hold on. Against Jews or against Israel?
Yeah, there's a difference. They spoke against Israel's action, the government, or against Judaism and their right to exist?
It's against Israel. But
Okay, that's not the same thing, man.
It isn't the same thing. It isn't the same thing. But when you're Jewish over here, you're obviously going to support the Israeli state.
I know, but
not
you could
necessarily.
support, like I'm a Greek, I support the Greek state. Somebody telling me, I don't know, I don't like the fact that Greece is exporting marble, right? Versus fuck these Greeks, let's kill them. Two very different conversations.
It is.
It is. But you can't compare it to this situation where you have.
I'm pretty sure he just did.
I just did. One is against the state, one is against the people.
George, are you propagating the fucking myth that to speak against Israel is to be anti-Semitic? Is that what you're doing right now? Honestly.
I'm
not even trying to make a joke.
All
I'm
I'm saying is
legitimately
that,
angry.
There's an issue within the party where they are vocally against Israel's actions on Palestinians.
Which is
Okay,
fine. You're
fine.
allowed to do that, okay?
Yeah, exactly. But in this circumstance, when your leader is Jewish and 100% in support of the state of Israel,
Also fine.
Okay, so the leader is in support of the state of Israel?
Yeah, but there's a little bit of a problem. And you have one of her top advisors. He's been calling out these two MPs to apologize or else resign. And things are heating up in the party. And then
Resign. You mean resign. Do you know?
I have
And
a
then
hard
there's
time
this
believing.
other guy. There's this other guy that was in the running for the leadership of the party. He's actually from Montreal. His name is, and he's Greek. His name is Dimitri Laskaris.
Dimitri, what?
He came Laskaris.
That's a cool name.
Laskaris, whatever.
That's a cool name.
I didn't even know he existed, but I just saw that in the article. I'm like, oh, this is a Greek guy. I didn't even know he was in the running. Anyway, he came out and said, "What the hell is this guy's problem?" The advisor. Why don't you shut the fuck up? You should resign.
Sounds
you
like
know
a
what I mean?
Greekster. Shut the fuck
You know
up,
what I mean?
bro.
So there's this whole issue happening in the Green Party. They've made the headlines for stuff that they shouldn't be, but yeah, that's what's happening.
I just have a hard time believing that a party that's for reducing carbon emissions would be anti-Jews.
Wait, what?
There, I said it.
Wait, what?
I said it.
That-
I'm not
that
going to
was
get into
bad.
it.
Wait, first of all, they're against reducing emissions. So, yeah, you're right. Why would they be against it? Oh, wow, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that is a deep cut. That is very strange, but I don't know why people do this. So, you being against what's happening right now against Israel, you have to be against Jews? That's crazy to
No,
me.
that's not,
That's like
man.
saying, I don't like what Hamas is doing. You're like, why do you hate Palestinians?
That's not what I'm
crazy.
saying. All I'm saying is that they're against the state of Israel and the fact that their leader.
Wait, they're against the state, like the state existing, or they're against currently what's happening?
The actions taken by the state of Israel.
Okay.
They want a free Palestine, and they're calling it. They're calling Israel. Guilty of creating an apartheid state and all that stuff. Like it's serious stuff.
That might be a bit of a leap if you look at what an apartheid state is. However, the images coming out of there aren't exactly flattering.
I don't know if it is a leap. Sometimes I wonder.
Apartheid?
I don't know if it
No,
really
because
is
there's
apartheid state.
there's a shit ton. There's millions of Arab citizens that so it's not an apartheid state. This
You're
is,
right. You're right.
Yeah.
In that sense, you're right. But it's not as big of a leap as it seems.
It is in
In the
it's
way
not
that they're
it's
treating
not
the
true.
people who aren't citizens.
But well, no, but there are people there that aren't treated. This is just in those isolated places where it's fucked up, like when they're fighting with Hamas in Gaza.
In the West Bank.
But
in
the
Gaza Strip.
same thing in the West Bank, they're not like secondary citizens. It's only when shit pops off that these images
Do
come
they
out.
have full rights?
In the people that are Israeli citizens that are not Jewish, yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
They have all kinds.
Okay, that's good. I didn't know
That's what I'm saying, but that's never mentioned.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to keep it honest.
Yeah, because
But hold on, but the
apartheid
people
means
live-
a policy or a system of
We
segregation.
know what apartheid means.
We know what I'm saying is that
No, but
if no Arabs were allowed, like let's say Israeli Arabs that were there,
Yeah.
Muslims that were citizens, were not allowed
So
to
what
have
are
the
they
same rights.
considered? Are they Palestinian Israelis?
No, there's all kinds of people that live there.
I
There's
mean,
Arabs. There's,
like as George had
No,
mentioned
they're
in the last
considered
one.
they're considered Israelis. They basically they
Yeah, but we're Greek Canadians. Right? You understand what I'm saying?
oh no, you're trying to say no. People who live in what is it, East Jerusalem or West Jerusalem, the
East
Palestinian
Jerusalem,
one,
the West Bank.
and
Bank.
Gaza. No, they're not Israeli citizens. Like there's Palestinian. They have their own stuff, but
Yeah.
they're not recognized by anybody. So it's even hard for them to
that's what I'm
travel. It's Palestinians get fucked over also based on since no one recognizes like officially, let's say, then they have problem getting documentation when they want to
Can't
go to
even
another
leave
country.
their own not
Yeah, it's
country.
very very difficult. That's why
But that exists because of why? Because of Israel.
because of everyone involved because
I
it
suppose,
was
yeah.
just it was more Israel didn't just pop up right because of England and all that. So
No.
essentially
I mean,
you
today-
make it hard if there's no solution to make an official country of Palestine recognized by this and that, you also make it because you can't because the excuse is we'll just leave. But go where? First of all, I don't even have proper documentation. You know how difficult it is. You know how difficult it is for you to go to different countries and just have a paper says, yeah, I'm from a place that doesn't exist or a place that you don't recognize. It's fucking crazy. So unless
I've known a few Palestinians who like ended up growing up later on.
It's
in
super
life.
difficult.
Elsewhere, it was hard for them to get out.
yeah, it's not fucking easy,
And
bro.
not
If you have
just like
no
someone's at the door going, no, you can't leave. It's just like they have no documents.
They don't do it. And also, it sucks to be forced to leave just because the situation is so fucked up. So, anyways, unless there's actual action to go in there and help make a tangible full country, even if it's not violence, you're always gonna have
There's no-
fucked up shit.
I've always
why
said
not
this. Oh, yeah,
just call the country Israelistine and then just mix both flags and bam?
You can't because
How does that help
we've gone
anyone?
gone past that line. We
We've
now
been past that line for a long time.
yeah we're in the well. Look,
Look at George's face. He's
first
like,
of all,
Israel-
when the Arab
Israel-
League had met, they had already said
I
that
knew a guy named Israel Stein.
they had already said that that's funny. They had already said that they will not accept just the exist at all. No recognition of Israel. No. So
Really?
if these two people don't recognize each other, they're like, I will never accept you. I will never accept you. Then either one doesn't. You can't. If you're always gonna be, it's impossible. That's impossible. I don't like it that it's like that, but that's impossible. That's why.
The second that everything hinges on the fact that each side believes the other one's existence endangers their own,
Yeah.
you have a problem.
You have a problem because each one thinks that you existing is gonna fuck me over. So they're both scared.
Yeah, to some extent.
Just that one of them has all kinds of fucking money for the military.
Firepower, yeah.
Yeah.
I watched a really interesting breakdown. I don't know, one of these YouTube channels. I forget who it was, but it was really in depth. It was really interesting. And
Yeah,
it
this
kind
is
of-
super complicated. That's
and
why
it
it's
really all stemmed, like the way he described it. I mean, not everything was exactly factually accurate. It wasn't very objective. But for the most part, he was good about just putting down facts.
The Brits.
But no, he
Bro,
actually
you know what's funny
he
is it's
blamed the
that's-
Americans more than anyone for getting in bed with the Saudis when they found oil. I'm like, you know what? That kind of makes sense.
What?
I mean, that moment created all kinds of strife in the Middle East, including 9/11 happening.
well, the big thing about the Middle East is also that a lot of other, let's say, more hardcore Arab regimes there, Muslim regimes, are not happy with the UAE and Saudi Arabia having friendlier and friendlier ties with Israel.
Oh, did you guys
Yeah,
also see
and the fact that the U.S. like deposed and placed a dictator in Iran in the 80s? When was it?
yeah, and
When
did
did
you guys
Khomeini
see
get put in power?
recently the U.S. military seized 2 million barrels of crude oil from, I think, Iran.
Iran,
was
yeah,
it?
and they sold it for like $120 million.
$110 million, but now that money has been put on, what's the word I'm
On
looking
hold, on ice.
for? there was a word. There you go. That's the word they use.
In escrow.
In escrow. So apparently they're getting sued now. Or
Yeah,
something.
Iran's actually had a bad week. So their oil was sold. It was
I
stolen.
think Iran's had more than a bad week.
No, but this week has been particularly. They had two warplanes, like two jets, fighters that died before they even left because the seats ejected before they even took off. So they ejected inside the plane. They're not good at war. And then another one of the their biggest warship right now off the Gulf of Oman, I think. Their
Persian
biggest
Gulf.
one, it blew up.
On its own.
How?
I don't know. It was on fire and it sank now. And it's like, God damn, dudes, like you're not ready for war.
What's going on, bro?
Yeah.
Doesn't it make you nervous that that same regime controls a bunch of nuclear weapons?
Well, that's the problem.
I love how you said that.
Are you talking about Iran?
Yeah.
I love how you said that. Well, that's the problem.
What nuclear weapons does Iran control? They don't have a nuclear program, do they?
Don't they?
No, well, their nuclear program kept getting halted. They threatened that they did have nukes.
I thought they always are. We have nukes, and
No,
they're like, no, you don't.
I know they've been trying to develop it. Obviously, the U.S. and Israel have been against it,
Who's in
especially.
charge there now?
You ever
George?
met a Palestinian?
Yes,
They're fucking.
I had one on the show a few weeks
They're
ago.
pretty chill fucking people,
They
bro.
are.
They are.
Very chill. I had a Palestinian friend in high school.
Yeah, they're fucking chill people, bro. They've been through so much shit.
The guy I met, I can't remember his name right now because he was a friend of a friend. Wahib, is that his name? Anyways, he's a Palestinian who hangs out and lives in Crete, and he's a pilot. I'm like, it doesn't get pretty more laid back than that. Like, the guy lives in the south of Greece.
Yeah,
just
but you would
chilling,
imagine
flying
he would love to
airplanes.
be able to go visit back home without the fear of getting shot.
I mean, there's that. Yeah, but he was a pretty chill guy.
Yeah, people in general are chill. I've met some cool Israelis too.
My Palestinian
I've
friend
met some very cool Israelis.
smoked a lot of weed and committed crimes.
Okay, so not a good example.
Not a good example.
Shining light.
But
Not
he was
a-
very
not a-
chill.
not
He
a
was
beacon.
He was very chill though. He's very cool
Does he
about
speak
it.
for all the Palestinians?
Yeah. No, that's what's it's always, dude. It's always the little people are gonna pay the price for leaders that are
I don't know if this guy who was
bloodthirsty.
hanging out with Poseidon was a leader.
No, not him.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying like let's say for example Hamas and fucking Netanyahu. You know, their shit.
Why did you say
Hamas. Yeah, but I'm just saying their bullshit is ruining everybody else's life down there.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I wouldn't. It's not that simple with Israel and Palestine.
That's what I'm saying. It's very
it runs
complicated.
deeper into the society than just
Because
the
everyone's
leaders.
jumping with like, oh, you gotta stop shooting bullets, stop shooting rockets. Oh, you gotta stop doing this. But you think it's that fucking simple? You think that's all it is? You think it's like, all right, we're just gonna stop firing rockets,
Remember that
and then
Family
Hamas
Guy-
is like, yeah, let's just stop firing rockets, and then it's not that simple. It's super complex. And there's many parties inside, faction of a faction of even in Israel. There's this guy's trying to maintain leadership, and the other people who don't want war are trying to get him to not be president and all that. It's fucking crazy, bro. Both places,
And the
it's super
Hasidic
complicated.
Jews are just screaming, "We don't need a country."
Yeah, they're all dressed like Abraham Lincoln impersonators. It's fucking crazy, bro. Down there, it's a fucking shit show. It's not simple. It's super complicated.
Have I told you guys a story when I was in Concordia? Netanyahu wasn't elected. He was a former prime minister. He was retired, and the Jewish Association over there, they called him to come and give a conference. I can't remember to who there, but it was happening at Concordia. So I get off the metro and I'm walking to school and I see SWAT. I see fucking snipers on roofs. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? The Palestinians, dude, had organized this whole thing to shut
I
down
remember
the school.
that.
I remember that too.
Yeah.
They succeed, dude. They took over Concordia. They took over, like they were all over the place, and they shut everything
the Palestinian
down.
Montreal.
So what you're saying is the
2007.
Palestinians in Montreal ruined it for the guys back home because now he actually got power. He's like, I remember what happened in Montreal.
Je me souviens.
How funny would that be in his biography? He's like, I'll tell
it
you
was
why I
pretty
started.
stressful.
I remember the last time that tensions got this high. When was it? 6 years ago.
What was his name?
Benjamin Netanyahu.
Okay, I found it.
He's the current prime minister.
Yeah.
He's in trouble now. He couldn't make a coalition government.
Yeah, dude, that's why this whole shit popped off. Yeah, he's fucking.
You said popped off a
Yeah.
lot today.
And
I
now
didn't say
they
pop-ups.
just
First time I say it.
approved of
3
a
times
new
now.
president,
No?
which is
Yeah.
a ceremonial
Watch it
position. It's a former prime minister. His name is Herzog, and he became the president.
Werner?
And he's against
What? It's not
Netanyahu.
Werner, is it?
So who knows? He's probably going to give the authorization to another party to form a coalition to see if they can make a government and
George
throw him
just
out.
accidentally made a great point. That's who can solve this crisis.
Who?
Werner Herzog.
To be honest, you know who could probably solve the Middle East crisis? Poseidon and Guido Grasso, the intellectuals. I'll tell you why.
Tell me.
They think outside the box. I mean, they don't think inside the box. Sometimes they don't think. it might need an outlandish idea from people that have never really sat down to think about anything.
Maybe.
That can help because clearly,
Like an outsider's perspective.
but an outsider that has no horse in the race and is very confused, but ultimately doesn't want violence.
Does Guido fit that character?
Yeah, Guido does not want
He
violence.
seems to commit lots of acts of
He
violence.
does commit violence, but on inanimate objects, tables,
Chairs.
chairs, car windows, that sort of thing.
Stomach just growled like crazy. I'm so hungry.
But yeah, that's what you need. I think you need something like that.
Maybe.
Because I've even sat down to think about shit like that, and everything I think of has already been turned down.
I try to never debate it too long with anyone because I don't really have a solution.
I don't have a debate.
I have no
Me-
idea.
You know what fucks with me is that I know that it can't be solved for one reason: the maps. Go look at the map. Well, forget the maps that were offered, but go look at the maps that you would think would work right now without
They're always landlocked,
without landlocking Palestine. It doesn't work because and especially if they would have what they have right now in Jerusalem, and it would have to reach all the way to Gaza. So then you're locking in Israelis,
And they're
so
locked
they
away
won't
from
accept
themselves,
it. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So it's unless it's a new division where Gaza belongs to Israel, but they take
Like a semi-autonomous,
northern western, yeah,
like a semi-autonomous
no,
state, then they can travel freely, maybe.
no, like that. It's basically a line down the middle, but like this instead of how it is now. That's the only other way. But then you're
see what you
asking
mean.
Israel to give up all kinds of land now that's already been like its cities, buildings, all that to give it away to Palestine. But that could be a big sacrifice. They'd be like, you know what? Fine, we're going peace. You get this fucking shit. I get that shit. We're no longer fighting. That would be fucking amazing. But I don't think they would give that up.
I think maybe Quebec has a role to play in solving this issue.
Uh-oh.
Seriously. I mean, a nation within a nation, I mean, allow Israel to exist, let the Palestinians exist as a nation. With it. Maybe Quebec can fix this. They seem to be doing a bang-up job here.
No,
so.
it's completely different.
no
Yeah,
kidding.
it's completely different.
George, what else you got? Let's move away from the Middle East.
Yeah, I mean,
this
just
shit's
last
wild,
thought. I mean, it's very difficult to imagine how they can even get back to the negotiation about redrawing the map. It's
I don't think
Every
that's
drawing of the map that was proposed
silly.
it doesn't surprise me that Palestine said no. It's completely fucked up. It's just a jigsaw puzzle.
I have a proposition.
Uh-oh.
Proposition us.
I have an indecent proposal. What if I fuck their wives?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay, go for it.
You take Jerusalem.
Okay.
Okay. That's the point in the middle, and then you just split the country. Down the middle.
Which way? North, south, or east, west?
East west.
Okay. Go on.
East west.
What happens to all
Where's
the
Gaza?
Israelis on the other side?
Yeah.
What?
What about Gaza?
That becomes Israel.
That's what I was saying. That's the only way.
Yeah, that's the only way.
Yeah.
And then so like that, both
so you're
countries.
giving them the north side.
You
Yeah.
give no Palestine the north side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I mean.
And they'll be close to Lebanon, which is another Arab country, which is fine, And
Oh, you create like a buffer between the other angry Arabs and the Jews. I
No, but
like
they always
that.
have that. Yeah, go on.
yeah,
Okay.
Down the middle, the Gaza Strip becomes Israel. But what
Goes back to Egypt, maybe.
This
But
reminds
hold
me
on,
of a
they-
biblical story where
hold
they
on.
wanted to cut the baby in half.
they
Remember
want.
that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's true. Huh?
Go on.
But hold on. Why do they want to keep the Gaza Strip?
Well, here's what's crazy: is Israel.
That's where all the clubs are.
Israel took the Gaza Strip.
Oh, that's Gazi.
They won it in war. It used to belong to Egypt,
Okay.
and then I think they gave it back to Egypt after they won it from them, and then Egypt gave it to the Palestinians.
I'm really not sure.
So then, you split it down the middle, give Gaza Strip back to Egypt, bang, bang, boom, north side Palestinians, south side Israel.
And whoever agrees to not split it and let the other keep the whole thing is the one who gets it in the end, just like in
Yeah.
the Bible.
Yeah, you send them out to sea to fend for themselves.
Whoa,
Wait, what?
that took a weird
That
twist.
took a very aggressive.
Why are you anti-Greece all of a sudden?
What?
Where do you think they're all gonna go?
But neither one.
Not-
But
well,
here's
shut them
here,
down,
can I
bro.
tell you the problem? Neither one will accept it because I
Why?
don't think. Well, Israel won't accept to lose most of their country, and Palestine won't accept any state that includes Israel.
yeah.
They don't want Israel to
And-
exist.
This is an interesting.
I'm
term.
Hold on,
laughing.
hold
I'm
on.
laughing.
It's only Hamas that doesn't want Israel to exist.
No. I mean, it's almost
Even
all,
Palestinians don't want.
Well, not all.
No,
we can't
not
speak for
all Palestinians, but the political parties in charge don't want to agree to anything that has them. That's why I'm saying. That's why it's always a stalemate, no matter what.
I have a question for the Balkan war crimes criminal in the chat.
Yeah.
What happens to all the Albanians if you relocate all the Palestinians to Albania? I'm pretending this is a serious comment.
Yeah.
What do you do with all the Albanians?
They welcome him.
Ship them to Greece.
I mean,
How
they,
you
did, they,
realize-
tried, they
we
tried
tried that
already.
experiment. It didn't work. They're still angry.
I mean, no, some of them are all right. Some of them are pretty cool. They've adapted.
Speaking of Albanians,
Really?
Rita
Okay.
Ora,
Rita Ora?
yeah, well-known
Albanian?
Albanian.
I thought she was black.
Okay, listen, bro. We don't have time for your. We don't have time for racism.
Are we not talking about the same person? The rapper?
Poseidon, Rita Ora.
Who's
Yes.
Rita Ora?
What's her nationality?
I don't know.
Figure it out right now.
Wow, the war crimes just keep coming from the Serbs, huh?
What'd they say?
I think you know what happens to the Albanians, she says.
Oh God.
Jesus Christ.
British, Yugoslavian, and Kosovar.
Okay, yeah. So the Albanian.
British, Yugoslavian, and Kosovar. But who is Rita Ora? Like, what does she do?
She's an American singer-songwriter.
Oh, this is not who I thought she was at all. I'm sorry.
She is currently dating Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi. Whatever the fuck his name is. You know what I'm talking about.
The
Yeah.
director from Marvel.
The Kiwi.
Yeah, he's such a fun guy. He
He
does
is a fun
he
guy.
does that vampire show. Good dude.
Vampire show? Which one?
He's all in the shadows or dark in the shadow. Whatever the fuck it's
Anyways,
called.
go on.
It's very fun vampires. I wish I was one of those vampires. I feel like I fit the description. Anyway,
Okay.
so he does that show, and he's also directing the Thor movies for Marvel. And now he's come under hot water. Marvel, Disney has come out criticizing him, reprimanding him for photos that came out.
What do you do?
He had they wrapped Thor Ragnarok, so he went to celebrate with his friends,
Okay, cool.
and he
Wait,
was
Ragnarok or the new one?
no, what's the new one called?
Wow.
Love and
Love and
Thunder.
Thunder, yeah.
Love and Thunder. So he wrapped that. He was partying. He's known to have crazy parties.
He looks like he would have crazy
He's a
parties.
crazy party animal. And then the day after, there's photos that came out. Paparazzi were on the balcony.
Oh,
He
no.
was sitting with Rita Ora, and he was making out with her and what's her name? Thompson.
Oh, the one that played the Valkyrie.
Yeah, in
Oh, really?
Yeah, and she has her boyfriend there too, but she's making out with him and his chick, and he's like, yeah, partying it up. He's just too cool for Marvel. And Marvel said we can't have those images coming out.
Why
You
not?
reprimand. You can't. He's like, what? I'm a free man.
Yo, Rita Ora's
He's Polynesian, polyamorous. He's having a good time. Who am I to judge him?
Polynesian.
Rita Ora's a dime piece though.
But they're both cute. They're both cute ladies. But what I'm saying is, it's weird for Marvel to draw that line. They're out here
yeah.
indiscriminately killing half the universe. That's fine. That's cool with everyone. Marvel's allowed to do that, right? They're having aliens fuck humans, doing all kinds of crazy shit. But this guy can't have a three-way.
I'm trying to find the picture where they're.
That's a weird thing for them to get angry about.
It's a very weird thing for them to get angry about.
When is that new movie coming out?
Thor: Love and Thunder?
I think
Yeah.
next summer.
Next summer. I can't wait.
It looks fun. I like him. I like Taika Waititi.
I like Marvel movies.
I
I'm a
haven't
big
seen
baby.
what's that movie he made with Hitler? Something Jojo Rabbit. Have you seen that?
I saw Jojo Rabbit. I like
Is
that
it
movie too.
fanta- I
Oh,
haven't
I
seen
found
it
the
yet.
image.
You found the image? Yeah, share that image with people.
Yeah, I want to see that.
Look at that. What's her name? The Thompson. What's her first name? Fuck.
The hold on.
Kita. What's her fucking name?
Wasn't she the girl that played
Tessa
in
Thompson.
Creed?
Tessa
Thompson.
Tessa Thompson. Yeah.
Isn't she the girl that's in Creed?
She is the girl in Creed, bro. She plays the deaf girlfriend. Yeah, she's cute.
Oh,
Look
yeah,
at this guy. He's
They're not
out
even
there,
making
and
out.
you
They're
can't
just
even see
chilling.
on the right. Her boyfriend is there too. So he's cucking that
Oh,
guy.
they're making out with each other.
Yeah, and then he kisses each of them.
All I see
Look
here
at
is a man who's achieved the pinnacle of success.
Oh.
Yeah, all I see is a successful man enjoying the fruits of his labor.
Disney just can't stand that a non-white man could be so successful. Is that what
Yeah.
you're
If he
saying?
was white, it would be fine, huh,
Yeah,
Disney?
yeah.
Huh? It's the games you're playing.
Fucking yeah.
Let the man. Is it consensual? Is it 3 adults ruining the morning of Thompson's boyfriend, who's just right off camera shot? Yes, maybe.
Or masturbating off camera.
No, he
We don't
looks
know.
upset.
Oh, he looks upset.
Well,
Oh,
he
shit.
just looks sad.
Oh no.
He just looks sad. It's like, oh man, that little Kiwi's fucking
He's
my
like,
girlfriend.
why are you doing this? Like, easy, bruv. They like it. Easy, bruv.
Yeah. Easy, bruv. They like it. Yeah.
So this new movie, I think they're introducing like Zeus or something. No, I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zeus might be in it. Yeah.
I heard he dies.
What?
That's what I heard.
He's just saying stuff.
No, I'm serious.
He killed
Russell
it.
Crowe
He
was like,
killed it.
I'm not there for a long time. And they're like, what do you mean? He's like, I've said too much. And he left.
He's probably just I don't. Who knows?
I mean,
Russell Crowe's fat as fuck now.
Russell Crowe, I saw him. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. What the fuck happened? to
What
Russell
happened
Crowe?
here?
But you know what? I don't mind it because again, another gentleman living it up. He reached the top pinnacles of
Didn't he
success.
initially get
He
fat?
is fat.
Yeah, but good fat. I'll tell you why.
Fat crow.
Because he did everything he wanted to,
And then he got
now he's just eating everything he wants. You know what? That's a life. That's a life I can get behind.
Is he the one playing Zeus?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, Zephs, as he's known in the hood. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, Zeus.
Yeah.
Zeus. I'm a Zeus.
Oh,
All right, let's move on to sadder news, guys. And you obviously probably heard that there were remains of 215 Indigenous kids that were found in Kamloops, BC, on the premises of what was considered an Indigenous residence school.
Hey, how do we know they were Indigenous?
Because I don't know.
I'm not sure. DNA.
No. They know. It's been confirmed. I'm not sure exactly how there, but
like,
I mean,
because the school was founded in like a native reserve.
Yeah, we know what the school was for. Okay, I'm just curious. I was wondering.
These were mass graves, right? Unidentified. They just threw them in there and buried them.
Do you know more about this? I'm just curious. Were these kids murdered? Like, what happened?
Nobody knows. That's the question. Nobody knows how they died, and if they were murdered or if the conditions were bad that they just died from health reasons. The fact is that it just shines light on Canada's darker past, where these things actually did happen. Where from the age of 4, they would just take away the kids and shove them into these. They called them resident schools. The whole purpose of that was to kind of force them to integrate into a Canadian culture, get them to forget about their language, their religion, and their customs. So there's a lot of criticism that has come out because this is just more evidence to the fact that there was indeed perhaps genocide that was conducted by the government of Canada towards the Indigenous populations in Canada. There was a report a couple of years ago that came out. I think it was the Committee for the Reconciliation or whatever that mentioned that there was. They mentioned the word genocide. Justin Trudeau actually agreed that perhaps there was. He came out and obviously he's very concerned about everything that has happened.
So we don't know what's going on. Like basically they were bringing these kids in.
Yeah.
And then killing them.
What's going on? We do know what's going on. Kids would disappear. They would take them from their families at the age of 4 or maybe even younger. Because in this circumstance, I think they said that there were kids as young as 3 that were discovered. So so they would take the kids away from their homes, and they would put them into these residences. Now we don't know exactly how they were treated, based on what we're seeing. Obviously, not well. And in many cases, these people either disappeared or they never came back home. Either they were completely indoctrinated, or
they were trying to civilize. That was the whole concept, right? They were civilizing the savages.
They pulled an Ottoman. They pulled a janissary.
You know what's sad? The stuff that happened in the residential schools in that program, if you assume and take into account when it happened in history, even the Ottoman Empire didn't do stuff as heinous as that.
What?
They did some heinous shit.
They did some heinous shit.
But this is so structured and organized that this is worse. Because this was a government decree, an elected government,
I don't know if we could measure that. But
I mean, no.
I mean, a sultan is the government of that.
It's not
I think it's
elected.
the same shit.
Sultan isn't elected.
So why does that make it better?
God king.
Why does that make it better?
Because
It would only make it better if
people
people voted on the actions. But just like right now, our
What are you
government's
saying,
elected.
because people didn't know it's not the same?
It's because people didn't know it is the same on both accounts. That's what I'm saying. It's the exact same thing. It's not worse.
I don't know.
Nobody knew. It's the guy
I'm
in
not
charge.
trying to say what was
no one
worse.
vote. No Canadians didn't vote. Let's kill the natives. That never happened.
Yeah.
I wonder.
No, that never. There's no documentation of Canadians ever voted. You don't have to wonder.
All the fuckery has come from government.
Yeah, always. Yeah, same thing with sultans and all that shit. They didn't ask the people, yo, should we go to war with them? They just decide. Yeah, the Canadians never. If Canada voted to kill natives, we'd have a fucking. Yeah, we have a civil war now on her. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who the fuck would accept that. George, is there merit in anything he's saying? Did Canadians vote to kill these natives?
Well, I don't think so. Like you said, I mean, this was just.
Do we not know?
This was just a government platform at that time. I mean, look, the thing is, I mean, Justin Trudeau was questioned on, and he recognized the fact that, the previous governments acted wrongly. He can't believe that this sort of thing happened in Canada. I mean, when you look at Canada today and the country that it is, the fact that it's been championing values worldwide, to have this kind of track record in its history books, right? I think it's a good thing that light is shed on this. I think it's important to recognize it, to admit that they acted wrongly. I mean, I'm not so sure exactly what's going to happen with the whole genocide thing. I mean, all the leaders of the indigenous groups are coming out and claiming now that under the UN Convention of the Genocide Convention, it fits, right? It goes along the lines, and it could be qualified as a genocide.
Do we have any documentation from the time, like from those churches, of who those kids were, where they were taken from?
Oh, see, that's the other thing. In the last budget, if I'm not mistaken, there was I think 30 million or a little over 30 million that was reserved for the government to actually put in place a registry for these kids that had disappeared and that have died. So I don't know if they've kept track, if they know who these kids are or not.
Hold on, this happened in the 80s, George.
No. This was before. I think this was happening like before the maybe 50s or 60s, around there.
Okay, but in the 80s, we weren't killing fucking.
No.
But even
But think about it.
nowadays-
There's people that are alive today that have experienced stuff like that. There was a former MP in the NDP called Romeo Saganash. I don't know if you guys know him. Romeo Saganash, who and the clips are playing back now. They went and found old clips of him kind of recounting the story.
Phil says that the last residential school closed in 96.
96, man.
Oh,
Really?
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and they've been around since 1890. And this it may not necessarily be just government. Also, it may necessarily be like, because there's even.
But maybe they weren't killing people in the 90s in the residential. I don't fucking know.
In the 90s, maybe maybe it was some other school. I'm not so sure it was specifically reserved for indigenous people.
But also, there's
but
even
this massive action was happening all the way back into the 50s, 60s, maybe even after that. So this story of Romeo Saganash is coming back into the social media feeds everywhere, where he's recounting a story where they took away his brother, one of his brothers, one of his siblings at the age of 4, and like a really, really emotional story about his mom and not knowing where the kid was. They didn't know anything. Apparently, he had died. They only found out 40 years later that the kid had died. They were wondering, where's my kid? Where's my child? They weren't getting any news. And then, the story goes on. There was someone that apparently knew where the massive grave sites were. And that's how pretty much they made closure with this whole thing with his family. It's sad shit, man. Like, I mean, to think that this is happening in Canada, we were taking, and not only that, I mean, at least Justin Trudeau, on behalf of the government, has come out and acknowledged and has accepted the fact that we did something atrocious to these communities and we should apologize. There's this whole process of reconciliation.
Can we take it one step further? I mean, I like where Justin's head is at. Can he? I mean, I'll speak since he spoke on behalf of all of us. On the government, I'll speak on behalf of him, I guess.
That seems fair.
Yeah, I think someone should have to pay for these crimes. I think our leader, Justin Trudeau, should go to jail symbolically for the rest of his life to show solidarity. Someone is paying.
In all honesty, I'd love to know how that would play over.
Too far.
Is that taking it too far? Did I cross the line there?
A little bit, yeah. No, but what I think should definitely happen is that the Catholic Church should definitely come out and fucking do something. If there's any reparation costs, yes, the government, I mean, they're already doing it. The government has acknowledged it. They're already dumping hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions, into this whole.
There should be reparation costs. What are you trying to fucking genocide people?
And the government is doing, I think, their part. Maybe they could be doing more and better. They're actually now in talks about how to up, what they've initially offered. But it just seems very strange to me, and also very frustrating, that the Catholic Church has been completely absent in this whole conversation. What the fuck are they? I mean, this is their doing.
I'll tell you where they are. Little kid's asshole. Yeah, where are they? It's a good question.
So, yeah, I think if anything, the Catholic Church has a huge responsibility. They should eventually make a statement, and there should be consequences towards them as well. I mean, I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
There's no jokes. There's nothing to say.
George, what the fuck, bro?
Even me, who I often I don't fully agree with a lot of the way the government nowadays. I mean, modern times.
He does agree with how they ran these schools.
No. That's not at all what I'm saying. I mean, there's no joke to be made here. Like, it's fucking disgusting.
Just made it.
But also, it's not necessarily just government. Like, in the native reserves, there's women that go missing, and they're basically
still, there's fuckery right now. Yeah,
there's that woman who died last
year.
Remember the one who had 7 kids and she had a heart attack and they didn't even pronounce her dead.
What do you?
Drug addict?
The issue is not
Joyce
Joyce. What's her name?
Echaquan.
Yeah.
Joyce Echaquan.
The issue is they're not being treated like
the-
regular humans by, I guess, people like that run these reserves, or by, law enforcement and all that
Yeah,
shit.
that's what they say, yeah.
They can be taken advantage of. That's the real
Because
issue.
they're marginalized.
There you go.
But what is the solution?
I'm not so sure what the solution is, guys, to be honest with you. But the fact that these things are part of our history, first of all, it's
No,
disgusting.
forget that. That we can't go back in time.
Now, what's gonna happen? I mean, I don't know, right? Like, I mean,
But
they're
right
already
now,
very marginalized communities.
native reserves, native run places. What's the biggest problem right now?
Access.
Well, there's a lot of problem. There's there's high levels of the alcoholism, the
Right.
suicide rates.
Okay, why?
Lack of education.
Okay, so how
It's
is that? I'm just gonna throw this out there for you.
it's-
How is that acceptable? Because Justin Trudeau is apologizing for stuff that happened in the past, which he should. But why not look to the future? How is that acceptable that we have places where our indigenous people, the people who lived here first, don't have access to proper schooling, buildings? How the fuck is money not going there? And yet we're prepping our war chests for money overseas to other places. How the fuck is that acceptable?
And to be
It's a
fair,
very good point. And I was listening to arguments yesterday on French radio, and they were saying that we're very critical on Aboriginals because we see them in the streets. They're begging. They have the whole issue on alcoholism and suicide rates. And
Yeah.
we're very critical on that, but we fail to understand what has caused all that. It's not because they're Aboriginals that automatically they're alcoholics or they're suicidal.
You put
There is-
anyone in their shoes. You put any group of people, any kids, and you don't give them proper schooling, nowhere to vent their frustrations, nowhere to.
Not only that, but when you're looking at what's been happening with these Aboriginal residences, and these are passed down from generation to generation, and I mean it's not that long ago, right? I mean, when you're thinking that these were still happening in the 60s and 70s, it's very possible that a guy in his 50s today or 60s probably lived some events in his own family.
And he's living with
So
that
how
trauma.
how do you heal from something like that when they take away your siblings? Like, you're a parent, well, now you're probably a grandparent if that was the case back then. Excuse me. And they took away your kids.
No, I'm with you, George.
And we're being critical on them. I mean, to some extent, I mean, we have a responsibility towards them to fix this issue.
That's what I'm saying. That's 100%.
no, I never criticized them.
No, what we're saying is how the fucking me and Poseidon actually had this conversation years ago.
That in general, society is very critical towards them. I mean, that's
Me and Poseidon spoke about this because he was talking about how natives were treated where he used to work at Telus at Outwater. We had a long conversation about this where I had explained to him how shitty the places around that are supposed to be native reserves are taken care of. And the government keeps saying, yeah, we're doing our part. You're not doing your part. You're fencing off a group of our people. You're fencing off a group of citizens. And you're saying, here, just do whatever the fuck. It's fucking crazy.
I think the best solution to this would be to give them the Canadian citizenship and everything. They become proper citizens.
They got dual citizenships. Yeah, they got.
They do?
Yeah,
Their nations aren't countries.
Yeah, their
really.
nations aren't countries. No, they have. They're not. So let's say right now, for example,
they're full citizens.
I'll make it so simple. I'll make it even more simplified. The best way I could, because people always confuse, like, oh, but they could do whatever they want. I'll give you an example. Let's say Park X. Park X, don't think of it as a nation, but the neighborhood, right?
No, because I heard
Everything that's around that neighborhood we have access to.
Yeah.
Right now, there's been a lot of work throughout the years, and George was one of the people that was working on that. There are youth centers, restaurants, right? Places for kids to spend their time, schools that there's money that put. So things got better. There's less crime. The neighborhood changed, okay? Now imagine the neighborhood how it was 30 years ago. Imagine another neighborhood that right now is doing shitty. You don't have all the schools, the books are ripped, everything's fucked up. Kids aren't learning, teachers don't want to be there. It's dangerous. There's no prospects for jobs. Same thing in a neighborhood. Now imagine that in a reserve. Imagine that in a place where you have no prospects.
There's nothing next door.
There's nothing next door. The schools are shit. They're not teaching you anything. So when you come out of that system or when you drop out or whatever happens, it doesn't matter who the fuck you are. I could go there. I'm going to have the same thing. I won't have anything. No, I won't believe in myself. So what they're doing is they're being discarded, just like people used to do and still do in a lot of shitty neighborhoods. They just discard people because they think lesser value. They don't have money. They don't have whatever the reason is. Same thing happened to these guys. The fucked up thing about these guys is that they were slaughtered. Everything was taken. There's a shitty history.
Their culture was also erased to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And that affects you psychologically.
Yeah. So all that shit happened, and now it's like, well, guys, get up and do something. It's very complicated and it's very shitty that there should be real efforts being like, yo, forget fucking our deals with Saudi Arabia. We'll fucking focus here. Let's Let's fix it. This is crazy.
Yeah, but
always
you know
thought
the
that-
government. You know how it functions. So long as it.
Yeah, but
you know.
I've always thought that
Well, look,
investing real money in the reservations to turn them into cities, because Canada, we have lots of space. We could have more cities,
No, they should. Dude, cities is better for anyone. By the way, just remember
or
this.
at least big towns.
Yeah, keeping your neighbor down or anything, it doesn't help you at all. Having everyone grow bigger, bigger industry, stronger workforce is good for everyone. It's not gonna.
Have you ever driven through Kanawake?
Yeah, of course.
It's one of the nicer ones, and it's terrifying.
I wasn't
is?
scared, but it's just
I
it feels
mean, it
just
just
shitty.
feels-
There's nothing there.
No, it feels. I mean, look, I drove through it late at night, and I didn't really know where I was, so maybe that's playing into my emotion. But I didn't even know I was in Kanawake. I just didn't know where I was. I was like, "What the fuck are we gonna die here?"
Yeah, there should be all kinds of massive investments because it helps everyone. It helps everyone.
Yeah.
Imagine a Montreal surrounded by native cities. Like, think about the economy, how strong that would be. Forget everything else for a second. Just think about that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, what the fuck? Can you explain that to me? What did Pupitro just say?
I didn't
I own a house on my reservation, but the land where it is, because of his ban, can't be sold because the crown owns it. So it's like, yeah, you have a house, but not really. The government owns the. That's fucking
nuts, bro.
That's
I
just
own a
weird
house on
shit.
it, but not the land where it is because my band. I mean, your band. What's band?
Tribe, I guess.
Tribe, I guess. Yeah. Well, I mean, where is this? Like, what province? Pupiter. I guess Quebec. If his name is Pupiter.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
I don't
George.
know. Wait, so the crown owns the land that they gave to them? I thought they gave it to them.
No, as far as I understand, the crown still thinks that natives are subjugated, like their people.
Yeah, he is Quebec. He's in Quebec.
Apparently, also chiefs hoard money.
I mean,
Yeah, of course,
internal
but-
corruption is
Look,
still
internal
a symptom of
corruption
the
is
same
everywhere, bro.
problem.
Israel, Palestine, Greece, here, everywhere. There's gonna be corruption.
I like
That-
how you
that-
started with the top three. That's
Yeah,
nice. They're
the
good
top
at
three
it.
most corrupt: Israel, Palestine, Greece. No, everywhere there's gonna be corruption. That's you can't blame. You're like, well, they're hoarding the money. Yeah, of course. That's what leaders. That's what fucking shitty politicians
But at
of
the
any.
same time, when there's no external oversight whatsoever,
They're gonna do
nobody
whatever they
gives a
want.
Shit,
Yeah.
And all the other problems we just described, because even some of these chiefs went through the system,
Yeah,
are
and they're angry.
traumatized, they have PTSD,
Yeah.
they're disenfranchised, they're angry, they're whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, the only natives that I can think of was
Man,
it
what
the-
a cluster.
Which ones are the ones who fucking took over the train tracks? Was that an Iroquois tribe?
Yeah, yeah, I like those.
Mohawk.
When
They
they
were
were
the
fighting
Mohawk,
the
right?
Mohawks, yeah.
Wasn't that in
The Mohawk don't fuck
in
around.
Oka? Wasn't it
The Cree.
Wasn't it Oka? In
I
Oka?
think it was the Mohawks.
It was the Mohawk in Oka, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're the ones who are always like, that's enough. We have guns now. Like,
Good.
Like, that should scare everyone.
No, it shouldn't scare everyone.
No, it should, because you see what it's done to an entire group of people that they're willing to take up arms against a fucking railroad. If you think
I
about
mean,
it.
that should be everyone. You should do the same.
No, listen to me. Dude,
Yeah.
follow.
Yeah.
It should scare us all into understanding that look what we've done. We should be afraid of what we've done.
No, but
If
your
one of them
example is flawed because what I'm
Why?
saying is what they're doing is not because they were traumatized. You should do the same. If
But they
someone's gonna
shouldn't have
fuck
had
up
to.
your,
We should have all been like, yo, they're right. We should help them.
but that's not what you said. You said the fact that they're willing to go that extra
We've
mile.
allowed it to get to that extra mile that they have to now.
Okay, but
be
I'm
willing
just saying
to
that's
go.
not what you. If
I
you
was getting somewhere.
Okay,
you
if that's-
ruined it. I was building a scene.
No,
for
no.
you.
If that's what you want to, of course, I don't think we should
Yeah.
take over land and fuck people over. I'm with you. But if you're saying, look at how they're defending the land, that's crazy. They go, we should all do the fucking same when it comes to defending your
Yeah,
land.
to some extent. That wasn't the point I was trying to make.
I know. But
This is
then
all-
your point is valid. Your point is valid that we shouldn't be going in there and fucking with their shit. But we're not doing it. We don't have a choice. But I mean,
whoa.
Uh-oh.
What did this guy just say?
yeah.
The sad reality is that the natives aren't extinct because of us. Yo, Frank, I'm not going to say anything else. I'm going to let you try and re-explain that because
Oh no, they're
I
not
think
extinct. They're not.
typo, maybe he said that the natives are extinct because of us.
are you saying that the only reason they're still alive, they should have us to thank? Is that what
No,
you're
no,
saying?
they're not extinct. That's true. But we completely fucked up everything.
They're not extinct, but still.
Yeah.
I don't know what that meant. That was I really hope I,
think it's,
misread
well, it's
that
not
comment.
aren't. I think he meant that the natives are extinct because of us, but obviously they're not extinct.
Let the guy
But-
explain himself.
But we did kind of like it's like we're keeping them on life support, like shitty life
Yeah.
support, instead of either you go all the way and fucking help, you know what I mean, or you become the fucking maniac that you are and just kill everyone. Which fuck, we're not gonna go door number 2 now. We've hopefully the country's
I don't
not
think it's possible to go
filled
door
with
number
crazy
2.
people like that would fucking do that shit. So you should go to door number 1, go all the way, fucking help.
Oh wait, the girls are saying that he's saying
He meant
crazy
what he
shit.
said. Yeah, that's bad. I mean, the sad reality is that natives aren't extinct because of us. I'm not so sure about
I don't know. That I don't agree with.
Oh,
That
yeah, he said a bunch of.
I feel fucking terrible, bro. Like, it's fucked up to. I don't. But again,
Oh, that's what he meant. He meant like we killed most of them, but not all of them, so they should be grateful. That's what he's saying.
is that what he's saying?
It seems like that's what he's saying.
Other places in the world, we killed everyone we had the chance. No, it's fun. I'm just saying that right now we've reached a situation where we know there's some fuckery. We should help to try to make things right for people in the future.
Good for you, Pipit.
What did Pipit say?
He said they still speak their language. Language is
Good.
the most important part of
I
culture.
love how during this heated
But get
like,
some
thing about
vowels.
the
Come on,
natives,
guys.
Claudio just pops in, hey folks, and everyone's just
Yeah. Claudio,
awkward.
Claudio walks in like, we gotta kill all these fucking.
Claudio's the guy at a party who walks
hello.
he walks into a room where there's a rape happening. He's like, oh, okay, I'll be back.
Yeah, that's a Claudio move. Yeah. Hello, guy. Claudio,
Anyways,
you came in
no,
at the
but
worst time. Yeah.
to talk about the other lady, the Joyce Echaquan. There's actually a committee now being. I'm not sure if it's still taking place. They were investigating everything that happened during that day there where she died, and she obviously didn't receive the care that she was supposed to receive. The
Sure.
nurses were completely
Have you seen the
ignoring
videos?
her. What'd you say?
Have you seen the videos? Because I had never seen them until 2 days ago.
Yeah, I've seen the
It's
videos. I've
fucking
seen the
nuts.
videos. It's scary, and now it's even more serious because a lot of the nurses that went to testify, apparently, from what I'm reading, they had agreed on what to say. Apparently, that there was never any case of racism. That
Yes,
you know,
we did.
and so that could be very serious. You know, the fact that you're in French it's called parjure.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
For
it means
games.
that, well,
Fuck
you're
you.
lying in court and that you're that it was
Perjury?
planned, right?
Oh, perjury.
Perjury. That's a perjury. There
Oh
you
wait,
go.
George just mispronounced Palgio.
That's great.
Amazing.
So
Parjux.
It's pronounced Christ Mass. Do you mean Christmas? Yeah, that thing.
The mass from the Christ guy.
So based on everything that's come out now, you have all the leaders of these communities that are urging the Quebec government to recognize the fact that there has been systemic racism, that it exists, that it's real.
But not against
and-
black people, just against the natives. That's what the Quebec government's going to say. Watch.
Yeah.
Like,
I
no,
don't know
we
about-
like the black
but
people. These guys, though.
But it's scary. And the director general of the whole CIUS in that region resigned. He's like, I can't believe this was happening. Never in my life did I ever experience. And him, I can't believe because you're not on the ground.
Yeah, he doesn't
you're
know what the fuck's going
in some
on.
office.
In Joliet.
And you're taking the report of your director who may be even lying to you. So crazy shit happening. Honestly, I don't know.
I gotta make some more money.
That was that's in Terrebonne, I think, right?
Joliet.
Joliet. Sorry,
Yeah.
yeah, that's it.
Man, even in the city, when I used to work at this for the CIUS, I won't say which one, and we used to serve a neighborhood that had a lot of members of the Inuit and the northern natives, those communities. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. You mentioned it earlier. I saw some weird shit, man, where they were like, no, c'est un Indien. I'm like, but the guy's convulsing. Like, shouldn't we intake him? He'll be fine. He's just drunk. Stuff like that.
Really?
And I had made complaints. I was like, this doesn't make sense. And they're like, you haven't been here long enough. You don't know.
You know how tough they are, yeah.
Stupid.
What do you mean? Like, they'll be fine?
Yeah.
No, I mean, look, there was a lot of alcoholism, mental health issues, and I used to see them. They would come in. They were very aggressive. Like, not knowing what the fuck was going on was weird. And I was like, what the fuck are they? What is wrong with these people? And it painted a pretty nasty picture of them for me because I never really had contact with any natives.
Yeah, I
Like,
worked at Alexis Neon. And there's a lot of them around there because of the reserve.
They're around there, yeah.
And there was one that was homeless, but she chose to be homeless. It was like a mental health issue. She would carry all her stuff with her. They would offer her to put
Yeah.
her crazy shit. Yeah.
I mean,
some-
eventually, as I got to know them,
I always had a soft spot for natives. Like growing up, I always thought it was part of like Canada's heritage, and you'd learn about it. I always had a soft. That's why when I became an adult and I saw like a lot of the shit, I was always surprised. I thought Canadians love natives.
my earliest interactions with First Nations were not positive at all.
Me, it was
stuff
positive.
Like that. And then when we were older and we would like go to Kanawagi for like smokes and stuff, like random, go drinking. Like I had a few altercations with people who were like,
Holy
fuck
shit.
you, our lives suck because you. I was like, whoa, I'm Greek. I just got here. Like,
I just had a flashback.
like we just got here.
The first
No, but
native
I've-
friend I made was in playing football at Sun Youth. Fucking good kid. But he told me, and it just flashed now. I didn't realize what it was talking. I don't know why I thought it was juvie, but it was in his, I guess, reserve where he lived. I don't know. But he came and he was playing for us football. I don't know why he moved. But he was saying a story about how he was in, what is it? They put him in like a group school, a group home, whatever the fuck.
Residential school.
And he had to escape. and he hit a guy with a fire extinguisher.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah, like
year was this?
Yeah, it was in 2000s when I was in high school, and to it, like he tricked the guy who was pretending he was down, then he hit him with a fire extinguisher and then escaped from the window because it was a fucking crazy story. And it just flashed back in my head just now. We were on our way to Joliette, maybe, to play a football game against a team that we fucking destroyed.
Maybe.
And then I
never knew you played football.
I got in trouble. Yeah, I played 3 games and then I quit because I kept getting yelled at. I got that. That was the game where we're winning by like 70 points. I don't know. They were just destroying this fucking local team, and they put me in. And I was making my debut, and I didn't know what was going on, bro. It was like Friday Night Lights, bro. I was just in there, and then some kid tried to take out my knees, so I started fighting with him because I was
You told me
you're not supposed to do that in football, bro.
No, you just hit them hard
Yeah,
once.
this puts the flag or whatever. Then I go to the sideline, and the coach grabs me by the house. He's like, "What the fuck are you?" He's just yelling at me. I was like, "I can't do this. I can't do this." He's like, "You're undisciplined piece of shit." I go, the guy trying to take my knees out.
But I've experienced some
But
stuff.
at Alexis,
I don't know if you guys remember back. It must have been 2008, 9, around there, 10. There was an abandoned hospital in Villeray, the old Chinese hospital.
It was a Chinese hospital?
Yeah, the Chinese community had a hospital. Then they moved. It's downtown, so that building stayed emptied. And it was under the administration of the government, basically, because it fell under the Health and Social Services Department. And there was a proposition to turn that into a residence for Aboriginals that would come from the regions to receive health services in Montreal, because they don't have the hospitals or the facilities up there, so they would fly them to Montreal.
But there was a few centers like that already in the city.
Shitty centers.
No,
there are. So basically, in order for these kids to try,
Chez Doris is for battered women.
Is it that the one I'm thinking? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, not Chez Doris. I'm just
Or homeless women, too.
In my defense, it's been 10 years since
We have
I
to
was
call them up,
at,
see what they're missing. Yeah. We go there. Poseidon, we go buy shit and we drop it off there.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
But that was
I'm like,
that
I go
was
there and
my
I drop
first
off beside it.
No. Because you're allowed. So people who know, if you want to give stuff back, Chez Doris, they should still be doing it. I don't know now if COVID everything changed or whatever. But you can call up and check if they're missing, or sometimes they'll put anything. And anything, you buy pantyhose, toothbrush, like whatever the fuck you think. You go to, that's what we would do. Go to Walmart, you bags of shit that they could, like shit that you would use every day, maxi pads, shit like that, and then you could go drop it off there. So if you don't have to, it's another way of help, because they used to handle all kinds of women that would come in. So we used to drop stuff off over there, and they were all new. We would buy them and go directly there.
But we did this also at the beginning of the pandemic.
We did at the beginning of the pandemic. Yeah, they didn't have a problem with it. Yeah, we dropped them off there. Yeah.
But that was my first experience at this hatred towards these communities, because there was a proposition from the Quebec government to turn that into a residence so that they can facilitate these families coming to receive care, and they didn't have anywhere to stay, and they wanted to convert that. And the community just went up at arms. They're like, fuck, no, we don't want them here. They're all alcoholics. They're going to, yeah. And I remember, and I'm not going to say her name, but there was a local municipal elected official there in Villeray who had started this whole campaign on distributing these little pamphlets about, no, we don't want it, and blah, blah, blah. It's not the best thing for our community. And there was this whole campaign. Finally, it didn't happen. They were so adamant. The government said, you know what? Okay, fuck it. We're not going to do it. We're going to find another place to build it. And I was in shock. Honestly, I was like, "What the fuck is going on here?"
Yeah, this is more complicated than, you know what I mean. It's super complicated with the natives.
This was specifically programmed to help out the community, right? And it's us that pretty much said, "Fuck it, no, not us, like me, but like our communities, like white people, you know, they're gonna come and dirty our neighborhood. Like, go fuck yourself, you know what I mean?" Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, that's depressing, George. You got any fun fucking news to end the show?
Let's boil up your blood a little bit. There's an issue with the CRTC. I know that we already hate them, but there's a lot of calls for the president to resign. Just a little context. There was a decree that was signed back in 2019 to allow for bulk discounts for internet from the big distributors, in order to allow for more competition from the smaller companies like eBox, vMedia, and Tech Savvy, and all those little companies. And a couple of days ago, the CRTC president, Ian Scott, he came out and said, well, we're canceling that decree. So basically, these small companies can't benefit from these bulk discount prices. And automatically, there was this storm of criticism going as far as to demand his resignation. Basically, they're accusing him for giving into the pressure of the big companies, and they're claiming that there's a conflict of interest since he used to be the vice president over at Telus. So these smaller companies
Suspicious.
are now. So these smaller companies are now like in this super difficult situation since they don't have the means to even compete or even what's it called? The word I'm looking for, and is to compete in the new 5G networks that are being built, right? So obviously the opposition parties were quick to pressure the government. They want the government to do something to change this culture within the CRTC, and in general, just take a different approach when it comes to mobile plans and internet plans. And they're looking into what's happening, for example, in Europe, where the market is much more favorable to the smaller companies, and in exchange, the result is that they have some of the cheapest plans, right? So it's much more beneficial to the population and to the clientele. And they just don't understand why the CRTC is just fucking ruling over everything so in such a unilateral fashion, right? So I'm not so sure what's going to happen. This just happened, I think, Monday or Tuesday. I don't know if the government is going to step in here and kind of go back to what it was. The fact is that all these small companies, I can't see how they can even survive, right?
So the CRTC, you're saying, can go fuck itself.
It's just crazy to me how they can make these decisions. I mean, they're technically an arm of the government. So the government comes out and says, we want free competition. We want to have a more openness and competitiveness in these networks. Let's promote these smaller companies. Let's give them the space to grow. And then you have the CRTC that just comes out and single-handedly, unilaterally says, well, that decree that used to allow these people to exist, we're canceling it. I don't understand. I don't understand why the CRTC not exist. I mean, I think they should be there. There should be some sort of regulation in the telecom industry. But don't they see that this is going to destroy the open competition?
Yeah, and not just that. These are also the same people that are now trying to push for that Bill C-10 to take over our internet.
Yeah.
Right? And for people who don't know, I don't know if you saw this, George, but remember they were trying to add that amendment back to protect regular citizens, regular users?
The conservative member of parliament that tabled a motion to kind of bring in a varied version of that article.
Was shot down by the coalition of the NDP, the Bloc, and the Liberals. So remember that, guys. Yeah, just remember that.
I mean, what's going to happen now? They're just going to finish the article to article reading. It's going to go. They're going to vote. It's going to go to the Senate, and then it's all going to depend on the Senate. I can't remember what the majority is in the Senate. I can't remember if the Conservatives have the majority over there. If it is, they're obviously going to block it. But I don't remember. I don't think they do. I think there's more independent senators now since Trudeau came in. They're no longer affiliated to the Liberal Party, but we know that every nomination that happens there, I mean, they pretty much vote along the lines of the Liberal government. So
it's just crazy to me. So just remember that, guys. If you get your accounts or anything gets blocked in the future, you can't share a link, you can't talk. Just remember those three parties that got together. That don't think you should dictate what you watch and what you see online. That think they should decide for you.
I mean, I can understand the Bloc's position because they want the French content to be promoted and to be more discovered. I don't understand why they can't just say, look, yes, we're for it, but put back that fucking clause. I mean, one is completely different than the other. We spoke about it in last week's episode where the National Assembly tabled a motion in support of C-10, but it had nothing to do with the entirety of the bill. It had to do specifically with protection and the promotion of French cultural content. So I understand that the Bloc Québécois is along those lines, but since one has nothing to do with the other, why can't they just come out and say, fuck, no, yeah, we support it, but bring back that clause? I don't understand what the hell is going on. I don't understand it.
I do.
And if this thing goes through, it's not going to happen overnight. People getting blocked and shit. This is going to be like a gradual thing.
Yeah, you don't know how to add that. That's stupid, obviously. How can it just happen overnight?
It's going to be gradual, but the problem is that it just feels that the government is just dumping the whole responsibility on the CRTC, and that's what's problematic.
How stupid was that?
They're just passing the buck and saying it's not us, it's them.
That's like saying we're going to stimulate the economy. We're going to send out some checks. That stimulating the economy, it can't happen overnight. It's going to be gradual. Yeah, we know.
They're going to make it in a way where it's not noticeable.
No, it's going to be noticeable. It's going to be noticeable. You can't just do it all at once.
Yeah.
what's happening is that the way I understand it is that the government is dumping the whole responsibility on the CRTC. So what happens is that even if this passes, they're going to be like, well, the CRTC is there to regulate, and it's going to be up to them to figure out the formula on how to make content more discoverable, on how to block content that isn't, along their guidelines. So the government is pretty much washing their hands about this, and they're saying, well, look, the CRTC is there for that matter. And we just saw with what's happening now with the CRTC, the exact same thing that I just said, that they're just unilaterally making decisions that are hurting the smaller players. So why the hell would we trust this? Trust is a huge word. Like, I don't want to say trust. I mean, why are we just relying on this government branch?
The fact that you won't even use the word trust says everything.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah.
You know what I mean?
So that's it. I mean, I have an issue, and from what I'm reading, the analysis that I'm making is that they just want to pass something to get this over with, so they can say, well, we took care of the French cultural product. We're the government that's going to protect the French content. That we're here for Canadian cultural content and stuff. But the responsibility is not in our hands.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's. It's kind of like back in the day with Charest in 2003 when he got elected. He created the Agence de la Santé. His whole premise was that we're going to fix the health system. Obviously, it never happened. But
what do you mean? The health system is great. We have 20 people in emergency, and the whole country fucking shuts down. Yeah, it's great.
So he created the health agency, and basically it was this huge structure that was administering the hospital network, and the government just kept. It was this battle between the government and the health agency at all times. They're, well, look, it's not a responsibility. We created the agency. It's up to them. If you have any problems, I mean, go to them. And when Premier Couillard canceled, when he abolished the agency, people were fucking up at arms. So I don't know.
Yeah.
What is this? Is that Matz's?
I just got a fucking memory.
Oh no, that's disgusting. All right. So G-Funk, look, I'm going to tell people, if they don't want your depressing stuff, to find you at the links in the description. George, who brings the news, also a happy family man. He's got 2 podcasts. One of them, the Backstage Podcast. Check that out weekly. But also his hit podcast, Just Us Dads. New episode drops this Friday with comedian Angelo Tarujas. He is also a dad, and he talks with the other dads. I think he's the only straight dad on the show this Friday, so that's going to be interesting. But yeah, every Friday at noon.
That episode actually dropped last Friday. This Friday.
Okay, listen, bro. First of all,
bro, I'm going to teach everyone a Greek expression.
I'm going to...
Polazitas, bro.
Yeah, bro, because here's what bothers me, is that your promotion, you did nothing. I just saw your promotions for that this week. You guys suck at promoting your fucking videos. I thought that what happened last week is happening this week.
I like the fucking clip you put out. The sketch that they did.
Yeah.
It amused me. I like that you tried to take my advice and completely destroyed it. But good job, George. Good hustle.
God damn it, George. So you can already watch that episode with comedian Angelo Tarujas on their channel. Link to George's stuff is in the description. George is a family man, a podcaster, a business owner, one time a politician, and a bringer of the news. George, an all-around good dude. Check out his podcast, subscribe, share with your friends. Also on the topic of bald men, Phil Balabanos, award-winning filmmaker. Film with a PH. So Phil is out there making people's commercials. He's left the office twice today because he had to finish up some work because one of his high-profile customers was very demanding. But you know what? That's the kind of stuff Phil is willing to do for you if you are demanding high profile. Now, you're not going to be like the rest of his customers, right? You're not going to be a Xerox, a Microsoft, an Apple, all unrelated to what I'm talking about. Check out Phil. He makes commercials for important people, never the government. He's refused deals from the government on 2 different occasions because he doesn't want to take it, but he had deals from Pepsi at the same time. So really, was it because he didn't want to do it or because there was more money in the sodas? Probably the sodas. If you want a high quality commercial like the ones he makes for the elites, links are in the description. Phil will make your business look like a legitimate business. It doesn't matter whether you're selling souvlaki or whether you're selling pharmaceuticals. Phil is going to make you look like a goddamn Hollywood star.
Or cocaine.
Those are the same thing.
Or coconuts. Or a supermarket, a grocery store. It doesn't matter. Phil is a goddamn professional. A little high demand right now, but tell him you heard about him through his podcast. He has a soft spot for the fans. Might make something work for you guys.
It's funny because it's true.
Yeah. Don't forget about Poseidon in the corner. Poseidon, the Poseidon69, Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter. Thank you guys. Have a good day.
Guten
Go fuck
Morgen.
yourselves.
Peace.
Hasta luego.